Morning, people. Happy Friday Eve. It's Thursday, the 27th of July. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And let's introduce ourselves.
It's your boy Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. 6 foot plus of pure temptation and all that good stuff.
Might be taller.
Could be.
You could be taller. I'll tell you context in a minute. Your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
Good morning, Big Man Use in the building.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst. Melanin's jam-packed.
That is right. That is right. How's everyone doing this lovely morning?
We out, man. We out, surviving.
Love it. Living and
great.
surviving.
I feel great.
That's good. Love that.
Heard he was poorly.
They tried to get me again.
Yes. Always trying.
But the black man will always survive and thrive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just a little bit of hay fever. You know what I'm saying?
This your hay fever has carried on.
Yeah, because like I said, when I went to, Holland and that, it's just greenery everywhere.
Oh, yes.
So these people, yeah, man.
Holland, actually.
Plants and very clean over there, by the way.
Yeah.
They don't behave like animals. Everyone just carries a litter, will walk bloody half a mile to put it in the dustbin.
Oh, that's a lovely society.
Yeah, it's very good, man. Civilized.
That's a good society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's nice. Yes, do you want to tell people why you might be taller today?
Oh, because I went to the chiropractor. But I don't know, because I felt good yesterday after I went. And now today, I don't know, feel so good.
Did it sound how it does in the videos?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the cricket and all that, like, it's mad. It's funny. We've got some footage we'll be out in a couple of weeks. It's mad. But I didn't need realigning or nothing. I think I was straight, but I definitely had a few moments. I was like, oh. Down my neck and all that. Like my leg, my back. You can hear it go.
Oh, that's so lit.
Oh my God. It's proper scary as well. Because you feel like they're going to rip your head off. Or you feel like it should hurt, but like.
It didn't.
It doesn't. It's like.
It doesn't hurt.
The muscle stuff does.
Okay.
Like when because obviously, I don't know how it works if you got like kinks and shit and trapped nerves and funny things.
Oh, yeah,
so he does muscle stuff where like he's doing pressure on your muscle, like all that stuff hurts.
I want
It
to
hurts, so he's got to put like numbing cream on and
Oh,
that.
really? Okay.
Yeah, or like pain relief stuff, like because some of it can hurt when it that's it can be
Really?
painful, but the cricking stuff don't really hurt. It feels good.
I can imagine.
It
I
feels
feel like I
surprisingly
feel so
good.
loose.
Loose as a goose.
I'm going to try. Did the boys do it as well?
Yeah, I made all of them do it.
That's sick.
It was funny. Loons thought he was going to die. It was a joke still.
No,
But then, I think it's just releasing toxins in my body.
Okay. I'm not sure how that works science-wise and all.
Is it kind of like them, well, not exactly the same, but kind of like, them Thai massages where it's like, okay, cool. Kind of uncomfortable at certain times, right?
Yeah.
But then afterwards, when the bruising starts coming,
That's when it hurts.
Oh, the cupping ones.
Yeah,
no,
like
even how hard they go into like.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he
that's
did say, let us know how you feel the next day because it can be
Okay.
quite sore, you get me? So like instantly, it's like a trick because instantly you feel better instantly, but then as it wears off, the day goes on, it wears off, innit? Like,
Okay, yeah.
I see man talking about, he fixed my calf because it was limping. It was limping, and then straight afterwards, like, it was fine, innit? It's like, oh my God, like, the pain's gone, boom, 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 and we're rolling. A couple hours later, man was limping again. They fix shit, you get what I'm saying? But, nah, it's good, though. I'll do it again, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do it again. Yeah, it does feel good. When you're doing it, it feels like you're supposed to do it, if that makes sense. It feels like you need... Have you done it before?
No, never,
Yeah, none of us have never done it before, but when you're doing it, it does feel like maybe man need to do this kind of stuff.
Often. Well, not often, but yeah.
Often enough,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
me? Just to realign. People got bad posture.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You crack my face.
Is it?
How?
Like that. I think I'm joking. He said the door was not aligned.
Is it?
So like the right side one's smooth, but the left side doesn't. You know, like when it opens and closes,
Okay.
it doesn't. And then like he cracked it back in.
Wow,
That sounds so lit, man.
that's mad.
'Cause I really enjoy watching that content, but I love the sounds. I like certain sounds, just make me so happy. And the sounds of like all that crunching and stuff. I want to do it.
You definitely feel it. If you haven't done it before, I would say do it. I think it's just fun. It's just a different experience.
Did it make you sign a waiver?
No?
Okay. Because you know the ones when they make you sign something before, I'm like, if it's so safe, why have I got to sign something that if you hurt me, I can't see you?
You need to see the footage, man. They put penis in the Y strap. That was mad.
Is it?
It's the thing where they wrap your head up and then put it like that.
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
And it sounded like thunder.
No, I'm going to check it out. All right. Question of the day. Hold on seconds. What's something you've recently learned that surprised you?
First thing that comes to mind, yeah. I'm not going to mention yet because we're going to be talking about it today, the topic of the day, right?
Okay. I'm going to look at what the topic of the day is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Swell.
All right.
I literally messaged Brent on the TD, but I don't know if you saw it. I said, okay, it's time for me to learn.
It's so crazy.
I was like, I'm awake. I'm awake. I can't think of what mine is. I've learned quite a few things, like interesting little facts here and there. But mine, I can't remember any, if I've been honest. Like I've learned stuff about the Bible. You know, like when you just learn like cultural things, like, that's why that's significant. But I can't think of anything right now.
I can't remember the guy's page, man. There's a guy, he puts out, shout out to the guy because he listens to the pod. He done a video on why there's no certain postcodes. Why there's no is it northeast? Any? Yeah. Why there's no any?
Oh, okay.
Any south, and there's another one that we don't have. So he explained why that's the case, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was to do with like post. I can't remember the exact reason. I was trying to find the video.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, but he puts out those interesting facts.
Oh, really?
He put out another one the other day, which was why certain train lines don't have aircon.
Oh, so.
Yeah, it's
Central
like
line.
random
It's, you know,
like
that
facts that
one.
we always
Yeah.
kind of think about. Because I've always wondered why there aren't certain postcodes.
I wonder why the central line is hot even in winter.
Yeah, so
When it's
I
snowing
can't remember his
outside.
name. Excuse me, guy. But
Oh,
yeah.
I want to know. I want to follow him. That sounds so cool.
I'll find the page. I'll send it to you.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
That sounds so cool.
yeah.
I like people like that, you know. They're like, because I'm like, how do you
Yeah.
find
And
those facts?
he's young. He's young as well.
Really?
Yeah, he's young. He looks like he's in his early 20s.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
just
I like that.
random facts and tidbits that are quite interesting.
Big up him.
Yeah,
That's so
Before the
productive.
show ends, I'll try and find his page.
Yeah, that's so productive. You got anything?
I ain't learned none recently. Sorry, guys.
Brent?
Margs wasn't in yesterday.
Okay.
I learned that when Esther walked in and you weren't there. And that surprised me.
Why?
It did take me
Because you
back a
normally
bit.
tell me.
I know. But it's one of those things.
Also hearing about the chiropractor stuff. Can you give me the details? I'd like to do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Let's see if he could. What, with the same guy?
I don't
Because he's
know.
come over from Australia. He's a content
I
creator.
was like, why don't we get him on TD so can we get it for free? I want to pay for
He's a
stuff.
content creator. He's got like
For real.
300,000 followers on TikTok and shit, and millions of views and that. So he came in from Australia. He's here for 2 days. So I can see if there's a sort of something.
Probably not then.
But he's dope though. Sorry I didn't
You
tell you,
sing?
Brent, man.
I mean, I would have been there right next to you guys. If you'd have told me.
Fair play.
Fair.
You learn something new every day.
Is that the content that you filmed in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Probably why you didn't tell me.
Why? Why not?
Because you wanted to film the content.
I wouldn't have made it anyway, and I had to
I
do
heard
something
that.
to do after.
I heard
So
that.
it was long. If you want me to come, if you want me to come and watch me sleep, then you can. That's all right, bro.
Well, I hope it works. The fact that it is that your jaw got cracked. No, I mean, I find that interesting because for years you didn't think there was anything wrong with the jaw. So I want to know if it changes the way you create content now.
Well, it feels smoother. Definitely does.
You think that's a mental thing though? Does it really?
Like, yeah. Like, you can check, like, you're restricting yourself from when you're moving and do it. Like, like, again, I don't know how long it will wear off, but, like, you do feel the you do feel the results of it kind of instantly. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I found the page.
Oh, did
It's
you?
Fassa_speaks, but I'll forward you the page in it.
Thank you.
So like different ones, like why is it that some football teams have United at the end of their names? Why do Nigerians love stockfish so much?
I want to know that.
Well, he breaks it down from a factual standpoint, innit?
Oh, is it?
Why are there so many shears? Was it shires in the UK? Shears. Yeah, why is there no NE or S postcode in London? So yeah, just why are there no underground stations in the borough of Hackney?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's too ghetto over there. That's why.
Yeah, so he breaks down these.
That's so lit. I love when people do stuff like that. Like just
shout out to Fassa.
random things I would not think anyone would do.
I just randomly stumbled across his page one day.
Big up him, man.
Yeah, big him up.
That's actually really good vibes. Right, lovely. Let's get into our headlines.
All right, people. So the first headline. Remember before we were talking about Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, all the nonsense he's got himself into, right? So basically, a plea deal was negotiated over several weeks, and it was likely to spare him, right? You know, all the prison time and all them type of things there, the repercussions that the regular man would get, right? But a judge on yesterday, said that she could not rubber stamp the agreement. The case marks the first time that the Justice Department has charged the child of a sitting president. Hunter Biden's lawyers have been given 14 days to hash out a new deal with the prosecution. It follows a 5-year investigation into the finances of the U.S.'s first son, who arrived on Wednesday morning at the court in Wilmington, Delaware. In a plea agreement announced last month, he was to be charged with 2 misdemeanor counts for failing to pay his taxes on time in 2017 and 2018. He will also admit that he had illegally possessed a gun while being a drug user and agreed to drug treatment and monitoring in lieu of a more serious felony charge and possible jail time. But during the 3-hour hearing, the U.S. District Court Judge Marilyn Noreika questioned whether the deal would also provide Hunter Biden with immunity from crimes he could be found liable for in the future. She said the agreement contained non-standard terms and its proposed resolution for the gun possession offense was unusual. Officials with the Justice Department are still investigating whether Hunter Biden violated federal laws that required him to register as a foreign agent while working in China and Ukraine during his father's vice presidency. Legal teams for both sides were seen negotiating in full view of reporters inside the court in an effort to salvage the plea deal or carve out a narrower agreement. But Hunter Biden, who initially offered to enter a guilty plea, ended by pleading not guilty for the time being. Obviously, we'll keep you updated on that. Next headline, Ukraine authorities are investigating whether a member of parliament broke the law when he took a family holiday to the Maldives. Officials are banned from traveling abroad on holiday, while men of conscription age need special permission to leave the country. The Secret Service opened a criminal case to assess whether Yuri Aristov gave false information to authorities. The investigators are saying that he could face up to 3 years in jail if he's convicted. The SBI, which is the State Bureau of Investigation, and the Security Service of Ukraine have opened a criminal case to establish whether Mr. Aristov gave false information in applying to leave the country. The SBI said initial investigations found that Mr. Aristov had been on a private island in the Maldives in mid of July with his wife and children when he actually registered as being on sick leave. So it's not just regular folk that do this. It's them high-ranking officials. And the last headline for now is some sad news, man. The Irish singer and activist Sinéad O'Connor, she passed away at the age of 56. The singer's family announced the news with great sadness, adding that her family and friends are devastated. For those who don't know, they might be too young. She was best known for her single "Nothing Compares to You," which was released in 1990, which reached number 1 and brought her worldwide acclaim as well. The Prime Minister of Ireland, Leo Varadkar, said that her music was loved around the world and her talent was unmatched and beyond compare. The Irish President Michael D. Higgins praised O'Connor's authenticity as well as her being a beautiful and unique voice. So yeah, man, rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace to her. All right, let's get into what you're saying topic of the day.
Oh. Not connected it. All right, people. So topic of the day, right? I don't have no notes for this. and there's a reason why. Because this is one of them topics that could just go anywhere, and I want it to go anywhere for a certain amount of time.
You wanted to?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say.
And what's crazy about this, is that we spoke about this yesterday. Obviously, it's not planned because we didn't have actually, we do have an inside scoop.
No, but do you think like Brent is like that person you were saying told your nation about it? Because Brent talked about it yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I went home after saying this is none of my business. And it quickly became my business.
This is it. Not
Got
only
Brent.
Esther's business, everybody's business. Mars, you hear about it?
Yeah, about what?
Okay, let me tell you. So basically, Congress. Yeah, it's not regular people just talking in the
Not
barbershop.
Nigerian Congress.
Yeah,
Can't believe it, they say.
yeah. Congress, are having open discussions about UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, UFOs basically, and aliens. Now, this is, again, it's not no conspiracy theory bollocks, right? Real live on CBS News, right? Talking about this. We're going to go into it, obviously. A guy by the name of David Grush, isn't it, Brent?
Yeah.
Right, so he's one of the. I'll get into his official position in a minute. But basically, he was there, and remember, these guys who are talking, they're talking under oath. That's like one of the main things everyone needs to remember.
Yeah.
If they're caught lying, they could go prison.
The career's done. Everything's
Completely done,
Yeah.
right? And prison time. Mark is looking very.
You will never work in this town again, type of
You know what I'm saying?
situation.
So what kind of things were they saying?
Okay, let me start with the big one, right? This guy said, again, under oath, the US government have communicated, right? I'm paraphrasing. Communicated with these UAPs, right? But it's the main thing. Inside the UAP, right? They found non-human, in his words, biologics.
Isn't that obvious?
Why is it obvious?
Because it's a UAP. Why, what would be in there? A human being?
No, but this is what I'm trying to say, though. How can it be
There
obvious?
shouldn't have
though?
been no UAPs in there.
So,
yeah.
if there's a UAP
Yeah.
or a UFO, what would
Yeah.
you expect to find in there? A human?
No, but that's the thing. I guess it first starts with if is the UAP even real? Firstly, right?
Yeah.
They've always denied that. Obviously, they found one,
Yeah.
got one,
Yeah.
right? But now you've got one because it could be just some some Japanese people who built this. You know what I'm saying? In like somewhere, right? Or the Russians or something. Because remember, during I think it was like the 40s, the Nazis were kind of toying with the idea of building crafts that resemble like
They weren't toying with it.
not toying with it. There's actual footage. I've seen the footage,
Yes.
right? Cool. I used the wrong words. Thank
And they
you. Right?
reverse engineered it and they used it to fly to Washington.
You hear this, right? So, and those are human beings.
Are you saying they found a spaceship, reverse engineered the technology and then used it?
Yes. They've already discovered discovered anti-gravity.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's a conspiracy.
No, it's not. This is fact.
The first part, I'll be real. The first part about finding and reverse engineering, I didn't know about that part. But obviously, they had something to work with.
Because it
I
sounds
guess.
pretty conspiracy-ish.
But I've seen the saucepans. I've seen like video footage of it hovering.
Saucepans.
What's it called?
Saucers.
Thank you, the sauces. I've seen them hovering.
So the fried egg.
Imagine I see the saucepans now.
So I'm excited. And so that's real. I've seen that. The footage is there.
What, and they flew it to Washington?
I didn't see that part.
Yes.
I didn't see that part. I seen them
was
flying
all
and
over the
hovering.
news.
You two got to get on the same
It was
page.
all over the news at the time.
They should have had a production meeting before this.
Obviously, he's very excited because he's now seen this and he can basically talk and say, "Oh, it's fact," right? Even though he just kind of teased at it with the whole nation, but now it's just white people talking about it. He's like, I could really lead into this. That's why he's really excited. But I've been knowing this. I've been saying the same thing. To be honest, I've said on here that the Third Reich has been moving wicked even since Nazi times.
Yeah, 100%.
And America recruited all of the scientists when it is that they zooped up Hitler, recruited them to basically start their NASA program. This is all fact.
I know about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I say all that just to say, but those were humans. Now this is like non-human biologics.
Yeah. And nothing about this surprises me. Even though I'm not excited about this, it's early in the morning, but I believe.
in the morning.
No, I've always believed all this shit is true. So I'm not like I'm not amazed. Like I believe there's life outside of this planet, man. I always have.
So you believe aliens exist and you believe the government's got them?
Not in the way you framed it, but I believe aliens exist. Yeah, I
They
believe
just said
life.
They've seen remains of biology. And you said that's not surprising, but then now you said they don't believe it when I put the question to you.
I said not the way you said it.
It's the same way.
The answer is yes. Okay, you don't have to.
No, I'm just checking. I'm just checking where everybody's at.
Yeah, no, I've always believed that there's life on other planets, other universes. I don't think this planet is just existence.
So what do they do? Capture them?
So I think some of them, again, there's different stories, right?
Because no one ain't come for their brethren.
Well, this is the thing. I was looking at, I remember mentioning this before on the show, like maybe last year. Remember, Brent, I was talking about a show on Netflix. I think it's called Acknowledgement or something. And there's a guy in it. I'll get his name in a minute. And basically, this guy, wait a second, Stephen Greer, right? He was talking about all of this type of stuff. He had people on there who were actually seeing these non-human biologics, right? Talking about they're like 30-something inches, like size, right? Just sitting there. I seen an interview of him today talking about, he interviewed another guy who had, I think it was 1953. There were 3 of these saucers, right? 2 of them collided into each other. One was just like blown to smithereens, but another one, the non-human biologic survived. They had this guy, this non-human thing, right? Like just chilling in the crate for 4 years. Obviously, they must have been feeding it. I don't know what they was feeding it, right? But the guy said, yeah, I seen this thing chilling there in his boxer shorts, just chilling.
They wear boxing shorts.
I think they gave them like human versions, didn't they? Like Primarks. I don't know, the equivalent of the day. But yeah, they said not long after, it kind of passed away and stuff like this. But yeah, they've been communicating and learning all of this type of stuff from back then in the 50s, 40s. And he said basically Roswell is real. I say all of that also to say, this same guy, Stephen Greer, he says, we have to remember, there's like 60 to 70 different species that we know. So yeah, it's not all the same.
60 to 70 different species of what?
Of these non-humans, of these aliens. So these are not all just one.
I was like, I'm not buying this.
No, sounds cute.
I'm not buying it.
I don't know how they've got that type of figure there.
So
but
do
So what is that? Humanoids?
Do you believe that every single conspiracy, every single sighting, speculation, everything you think is all fabricated and made up?
What this?
Like every single thing that we've heard about aliens, UFOs, Roswell, you think is all entirely just made up, fabricated? And if so, why?
Because if they had these UFOs from early and they could re-engineer stuff, they should have the technology should be more advanced. They should have, maybe there's some of the stuff that they have that they can do, they got from there, but I just feel like it would be better. I feel like things would be better. I feel like things would be better, just like more advanced technologies or something like that.
But just at a base level, you feel like this is just everyone who makes these claims, they're just making it up for the sake of it. They're having fun. Like, what would be the reason why people are just for centuries now are just making up stories?
I don't know, but if people was coming here from other places and getting captured and stuff, there'll be rescue missions. You know what I'm trying to say? They'll be pulling up outside the atmosphere. Knock, knock. Give me my Achilles back. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I'll give my keys back.
There have been reports of that, by the way.
huh?
There have been reports of that, by the way.
Oh, it didn't make my desk. What was the report? What happened?
As in certain downings, you saw like a couple lights come over and then scan. Nothing to see there. Gone.
I don't believe we're the only people in the universe. So obviously there's that.
Yeah.
You get me? Because I think there must be more going on.
Yeah, of course.
Just because it's so big and vast, what would even be the point? Of,
Yeah.
like whether I don't know what it looks like or whatever, but there must be other stuff because what would be the point?
The way I see it is, we only know what God lets us know.
I don't believe they got records of 70 different species of what are these like humanoids?
Extraterrestrials.
Bear in mind, this wasn't.
Could just be
covered
rocks?
in the hearing. This wasn't covered. This is a different thing.
This
he's
is,
talking
yes.
about.
Oh,
This
see?
is
Mix it up.
something. Yeah.
When you start hearing that there, then people will start saying the things
Yeah.
that you're saying, right? So just focus on this these three guys. Right?
Okay,
It wasn't
okay.
just one guy. It was three guys. And this guy, he was responsible for investigating the entire phenomena. You understand? So he hasn't seen anything himself, as in with his eyes. He's seen pictures and videos that people have brought to him once he was doing the investigation. And that's why is that he basically had to say, wait, what the hell? I can't run. And he went to his supers to say, nah, we need to basically... And they said, no. So he's like, all right, cool, I have to become a whistleblower then, because this is dangerous to the American public.
Yeah.
He used to brief the president. He was writing the briefings to the president. That's how high up he is.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's doing whistleblowing.
He's a whistleblower. He buried the lead.
But
He buried the lead. It's
and,
WikiLeaks.
and he done this on the floor in Congress.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, he was in front of a U.S. House subcommittee on national security. Yeah.
So what's happened to him now?
This was just yesterday. He said about. They ain't got him. Yeah. But what's funny is, yeah, like Brent's saying, yeah, like even some people say don't even call him a whistleblower. This is like he's above that. This is not like fake type of stuff. Again, he's under oath. He's one of the high-ranking United States Air Force officers and a high-ranking former intelligence official as well. So he had security clearance and still does. Still does.
So what have they done to discredit him then since he's
Nothing
done
yet.
it?
Nothing.
Nothing yet. Another reason is because he's not like one of these whistleblowers who's like gone into hiding. He asked for permission before speaking. So it's like this is why he's still got security clearance. He's gone to the American government, which obviously suggests the American government is somewhat ready to kind of give this information to its citizens. Because he actually asked for permission, and they said, "Yeah, go forth, man." So he's speaking to the people. Because like Brent was saying, he was concerned about
I
certain
believe
things.
there's a reason as to why is the Pentagon said, yeah, go on tease it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Because Stephen asked me yesterday, all right, cool, because he was like, oh my goodness, but maybe this is just a distraction for something else that they're trying to basically push through. And I'm like, yeah, it probably is. It probably is. And we talked about Elon Musk changing it to X, right? And what he plans to do with that to make it into WeChat, yes? Manuel?
Yes. Sorry, go
Did you hear what I said?
on. About turning into WeChat.
Yeah. You know what Elon Musk is planning to do, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday, I believe.
Uh,
No, the
day
day before.
before.
Because when you went in yesterday. So I'm thinking, if they now open up the gates, the floodgates, we are not alone, and some of these UAPs are actually killing human beings, right? There's a danger, right? And we need to be protected because this could be everywhere. What then happens? It gives license to governments to do what?
More control.
Make sure there are eyes everywhere.
Exactly.
So that all the citizens are protected.
But the eyes are everywhere anyway. They can't get more.
Not like China.
Exactly.
And that's why I said Elon Musk must know something. So he's looking to change Twitter. And imagine he's using X. That's a very alien type of character, right?
The unknown.
X-Files.
The unknown.
Yeah.
So him changing that and then everybody's identity being in one place. I think that's why it is that the Pentagon said, all right, cool, now it's time. Because videos left, right, and center. The New York Times, the Washington Post has dropped this unredacted article a couple of years ago. Everybody's now going on Joe Rogan, and the mass public is now finding out this, that, next. All right, cool. It's now time to basically scare everybody. And in doing that, we will cling to them to say, all right, cool, protect us. And that's where it is that the surveillance will just descend. But back to the shocking.
Back to the
No.
matter.
But yeah, before we go back though, Brent, yeah, I kind of want to add on to that, yeah. The same guy that I was speaking about that did that show on Netflix and recently did an interview, Dr. Stephen Greer, he basically says that we have to bear in mind, again, this is more the conspiracy side, isn't it? So we will go back to what happened yesterday. But he says there are fake aliens. And what he's saying is that these fake aliens are based off of the real ones, but these are man-made. And it's kind of like what Brent was saying. This is to perpetuate fear and then have an excuse to then put in more controls and then just have this whole global totalitarian state where everyone's controlled, everyone's one, you know what I'm saying? But that's the fear-mongering thing. And that's like what he, like, you know, the whole abductions and probing human beings and everything's there? That's part of that. Those are like the fake aggressive aliens, you know what I'm saying? but the real ones, they're not here or no beef. This is what he's saying anyway. But anyway, back to what we were talking about yesterday. So this same guy, David Grush, yeah. Again, like he's kind of been labeled like a whistleblower or whatever, yeah. But just to add a bit more thing into it, yeah. He publicly claimed that unnamed officials told him that the US federal government maintains a highly secretive UFO recovery program and is in possession of non-human spacecrafts, right, and dead pilots. So these non-human biologics, they've got the bodies of these creatures. He also, in 2022, he filed a whistleblower complaint with the U.S. Office of Intelligence Community Inspector General, the ICIG, to support his plan to share classified information with the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. He also filed a complaint alleging a retaliation by his superiors over a similar complaint that he made in 2021. This is from back then. You know what I mean? Certain things he's been going through, right? And he also asserts, yeah, that individuals with whom that he's been speaking about, right, share their concern. And I think this is one of the reasons why he's so out there with this, right? Share their concern that the American citizens have been killed, right? Not all of them, but certain American citizens have been killed as part of the government's efforts to cover up this information. This is before. So obviously, because of how high-ranking he is, and people obviously maybe taking his word as something that you can really bank on, this may be another reason why they've allowed him to kind of speak. Because this type of guy can't really just go missing. You know what I'm saying? He's not a regular journalist or whatever. So yeah, yesterday, man, was the day. You know, I'm under oath again. He repeated his claims alongside testimony from, these are the other two guys. These are UAP related, these are US fighter pilots, right? Who, with their own eyes, right, Brent?
Yeah.
Have seen UAPs. This is Ryan Graves and David Fravor.
Yeah, the Fravor one is a bit iconic because of the whole TikTok thing.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, he's not a UFO guy. Like he's not a UFO conspiracist or what, or whatever. But when Izzy saw it, it was 4 other crew members also saw it, and he's like, I wasn't even gonna come and do this, but my friend like kept on badgering me, saying that you're the only person that they would basically rate because of your ranking. And he said after 6 times, then he's like, okay, I'll do it. And he went and he told everybody.
But why are these incidents always isolated? Surely there'll be more public things.
Like what though? What do you mean? All public sightings?
Yeah, like all the incidents are always isolated, obscure, and like it's just always like so conveniently like the world's massive. You get me? If these things was happening as frequent as people are making out, and over the years we would like that is pretty frequent. It's consistent. There'd be like there's by now there should be something that's like undeniable, like that everybody did see. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like what these men are entering atmospheres and only the one pilot happened to see it, or the one person in their prairie, or
so
like prairie. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's just so conveniently just nonsense.
No. So with the pilots, they normally do their routines, right? Their practice drills and whatnot. They always see it. So that's one of the things that these people, these 3 people that want to basically encourage Congress to discover or uncover the amount of reports that they're actually hiding.
Okay.
Because they always see it when they're doing their drills. Always. It comes now that every time they come back, they're like, oh, you see another one? Yeah, I saw it. And they change in looks. As in, one of them would be like square with a sphere in the center of it. Obviously, the other one would be like as a tic-tac thingy. There was one with just a sphere. There's a red square and a black sphere. But that red square one, it came from the ocean and it hovered over one of the nuclear missile sites. And then went back.
And this is just all for a word of mouth, right?
As in from my mouth?
From somebody else's.
What?
I'm saying this is just a man's story, basically. Who told you that?
So one of the...
It literally is just a man's story.
Yes. One of the senators or the congressmen said, I'm from, I think, Missouri, right? So you know that I only believe stuff if it is I see it, right? So he's asking the guy, you ain't told me anything other than you've spoken to people. Like, how are we supposed to believe you? And then the guy was like, look, yeah, I know, but I'll put you on to all the people I've spoken to, and you can speak to them, right? All he was doing, like I said, he was responsible for leading that particular inquisition. And a hell of a lot of people came up to me and shared their concerns, not just because, wow, we didn't know that aliens or these things existed, but it's harming or dangerous to the lives of the soldiers or the Navy men or the Air Force people, but also American people.
So these lot have had all these sightings, all these things, they've got all these species and all this stuff, and there's been no conflict.
But they're saying that there must be conflict because people are dying. Also,
Oh, wait, who's dying?
the people who are encountering them.
They're dying.
Yeah. He said some of their own people have died off the back of it. Have been killed off the back of it. Now, not just by the UAPs, but also the private companies looking to keep it secret. Because they're reverse engineering these things, right?
I'm with you.
And also what they do, which he's also saying is illegal, is they're misappropriating funds. So you have these companies vying for contracts, overflating what it is that they need it for, and then using that band of extra money to basically do what they're doing. Also, he said there are bases currently where these things are being held, right? I can tell you right now where to go to see them. Some are in America, some aren't. Obviously, he can't see it whilst this is streaming live because a hell of a lot of UFO freaks are going to go. Their ops will go, and obviously it will jeopardize the works that are happening, whether it's American government, whether it's private companies or whatnot. But he said in the skiff, a skiff is a room that
It's a sensitive, compartmented information facility.
I'll believe it, yeah. When we get warp speed, yeah, and beat me up, Scotty. You know what I'm talking about?
Beat me up. What the?
You know, beam me down to the planet, beam me up.
The instant transportation.
When we can do that, then I'll say there's
What you know about?
there's substance. I'll say there's substance to what we're saying because we couldn't do that before. So where did they get this technology from? They would have had to steal it, like you're saying, reverse engineer it, learn it, boom, boom, boom. So when we got warp speed, then I'll be on board.
So are you moving off the back of fiction? Science fiction is what you're saying?
All of that's done in real. All of it's based off.
So you believe it's real then?
All of it's based off real like maths, innit? It's based like the theorems there, innit?
You believe it's real?
To a certain extent, I told you. I don't believe we're the only things in the universe.
All right. So now that you've heard that they have the bodies, does it change your life at all?
No.
As you're sitting there, I hear that 100%. But I guess you haven't been asked to think about how it might change your life because you haven't yet seen something paraded on your timeline, right?
That it wouldn't change my life at all. I mean, unless it changed the government or to something, or like unless it put plans in place that's going to change the way the world's going to live or whatever, it's not going to change. It's not going to affect me. I don't give a shit if these people have been there for. I don't give a shit about nothing. Anyways, at the best of times, it would just be wild. It would just be wild to see it. Like it'd be wild to see it.
Yeah.
And again, where's the conflict? Are they coming at the front? Are they at the border waiting with their ships, getting into war, and there's threat of us getting blocked? If there's nothing going on, if they've been here for so long and this has been going on for so long, and I'm fine, why would I care for that now? Just because I know.
On the theme of you being an avid historian, I think you love to basically find out about things that have happened, events that happened over the course of history, right?
Yeah, I'd love to.
I thought that you would want to now dig deep and right. So
I don't want to fall into a rabbit hole.
but you need to.
Yeah, but it's got to be
What else have you
tangible.
got to do,
I
though?
want.
Break bones and jaws.
No,
You
but
don't let us go in.
I need tangible. I need like. It's got to be like.
Something you can see, feel, and touch and stuff.
I don't know because I haven't seen what you saw yesterday, innit? I haven't
either.
seen it. I haven't heard none of the rhetoric he's spitting or nothing, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So that's why it's different. It would have to so usually it feels real to
Do you
you.
want me to send you the video?
Yeah, do that. That will
Alright.
help me.
I'll send you the bite size.
I want the full thing.
Why is it put on the screen?
What, the 11 minutes?
No, just a little
Bite size?
snippet or something.
That is bite size 11 minutes. That sounds like it's.
Yeah, but the full thing is like 2 hours something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the full thing. The 11 minutes ain't gonna cut it. I'll need the full thing. But again, I don't want to yeah, obviously you don't feel differently because you've seen in it, so you feel like it's real in it. You know what I'm trying to say? And if I felt like how you don't feel, then probably I would go down the rabbit hole and think it. But I don't want to go down chasing ghosts. If that makes sense. And then just being another one of the whack jobs.
So when you say whack jobs, what do you mean? Because you said that you believe that we're not alone, right?
Yeah, but I do, but I don't believe that they're sitting down there with them and reverse engineering
So
them
you
and
don't-
just like I don't believe that they got them. I don't believe that they got them. I believe that they exist, and I just don't believe that they got them.
Stop. I would like to understand how you sit there and like reason this, right? Do you put any stock in hearings like this in front of these people who have been chosen or voted in by the people to represent them in Congress? Do you put any stock in what happens there, or is it just when they're talking about looking to elect the next president or impeach the previous president?
It would have to, if you put a stock in it, it'd have to be across the board, isn't it?
When who was that guy that did the whole WikiLeaks thing? I can't remember what his name was.
Snowden.
Yeah, Snowden, and he dropped all that information. Like, did you put any stock in that at all?
Yeah.
Why? Because it was an active threat on his life after he did what he did, or is it information that was shared?
All of it. It just seemed very. It was poignant. You get me? Like it's
Okay. Now, if you deep this, right? I guess it. I understand you saying you need to see stuff, but I still don't understand what you need to see. Do you need to see the bodies? Do you need to see the craft? Do you need to see a clear image of these sightings and whatnot?
I would more need to know what the I would more need to see the effects of it, if that makes sense. Like, if not necessarily. How can I explain it? Not necessarily seeing the bodies or the crafts or whatever, yeah. But if you've been studying these people and studying these things for so long, what
technology have you got from it?
What just anything? What came of it? So okay, so you're doing all this stuff. You got this stuff. You got this information. All these humanoid, bionic, rare ships, tic-tacs, boom, boom, boom. You got them. You're sitting them. They're in the bases. We're studying them. Or what of it? What have we done with it? Knowledge is power. What did you use this knowledge for? What are we doing there? What happened? What is a direct result? I need to know something that's a direct result of one of these humanoids sitting there or one of these things. Because if not, then it's just nothing this anyway. You're just sitting there playing with them and it's not changing nothing. It's not doing nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's crap.
But don't things take time?
It's been years. Roswell and that. It's been forever.
We have to also bear in mind how advanced these aliens could be. It's kind of like us now thinking, okay, yeah, we know how to use cameras, but you find the camera. I give you a camera right now and say, you know what? This takes images. Like, you don't know nothing about cameras. Like, this captures images, real life, right? Stills. And then asking you to reverse engineer a camera. And you've got no background in knowing anything about how to put these things together.
I heard that.
That may be how advanced they are above us. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, cool, yes, we can fly, but all of this stuff in here, because I remember seeing one guy talking about how the dashboard or the cockpit, right, in the UFO was mad. Like it literally was kind of them things where there's like 2 buttons. It's like, how are you controlling this thing with 2 buttons? So Bear of it was just kind of like, it was just weird. It's weird, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many different things, right? There's so many different things that you have to kind of bear in mind. It takes time, man, because we have to even get the tools.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
So what I find fascinating, right, is one of these things observed by this same the guy who saw the tic-tac. His tic-tac went into the ocean. Back up.
And then went, just disappeared. Yeah, I know, but I'm okay, cool. Even then, I need more information on to what end. What are these men doing? Is this reconnaissance? Why are they here? What have they been doing? What's going on? Because if you've just got nothing for me,
They've been going to the moon and back for time.
what
They've been going to
the UFOs or the humans?
You're asking me how they use the technology that they've reversed.
No. Forget that. I'm saying let's look on the other side now because you keep getting these sightings, whatever. Yeah, what are these men doing here? The sightings.
The aliens?
Yeah.
I don't ask these questions. I don't know these questions.
Okay. So this is
No,
things
but
that we
this
need
is
answers
this
to.
is why this is important.
And they
because
haven't
it
been going back.
opens
They
up-
haven't been going back and forth to the moon.
Why?
They didn't even go in the first place.
I need to show you a video. I'll send the video. Right? Spend today watching the videos I've shown you, right?
Right.
And then you come back to me tomorrow and we'll talk. Because your whole disposition will change. I believe, right? Because you're a critical thinker. But anyway, Max, if an individual has been appointed and he used to brief the president.
I'm with you.
Wait,
No, go on, land.
Because it speaks to the credibility of him, right? Because you're saying, I don't believe you just heard stories and you've approached this Congress now. He's taken everything that he has gathered and he's gone to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General has turned around and said to Congress, "Yeah, we have to investigate this." Do you understand? Whatever they have seen is valid enough for that individual, the Attorney General, to turn around and vouch for him to say, "Yeah, this is affecting American people, and we serve the people. Go. The people need to know about this." Right? If these serving servicemen and women and non-binary are encountering these things, some of them are private organizations, and they're recovering them and reverse engineering them. He's not saying that it's only the government's doing this. He's saying these private contractors are doing this because they don't have to basically hand over everything to the private companies.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's how it is that he feels that they are kind of obfuscating the law. But you're still asking the taxpayers for money in order to do this particular thing, and you're getting granted these. You're doing something illegal. Plus, it's dangerous for the American people. So he feels a sense of duty to now come out and say this needs to change. And he said, off the back of doing that now, yes, he's been threatened by certain parties, even where he used to work. He said his life is being put under threat.
So what are the implications of this?
That that aliens have been running around from since 80 years ago. Everything that I've been telling you is possible. You've opened up an entire candy box for me, mate. I'm here. Mountain people, the splicing of the genes with cattle and all of that you've been just discarding as nonsense. You have to start believing that now. They've been mixing alien DNA with animal DNA, alien DNA with human DNA, all sorts.
So it's more just about discovery then, as opposed to, because these things have already been happening. We just didn't know about it, and we find out about it. Nothing changes. Then we just discover that it's real.
Everything changes because then I guess the people are going to be asking, "Well, so you hiding from us?"
But you just should know that because I tell you all the time. We're like, I don't know how many years it will be, but we're like probably like 20 years behind the real information, isn't it? That's why the stuff that they roll out that they give us here, they drip feed it.
Yeah.
They know way more than they tell us. They have more technology than they give to the masses. All this kind of stuff in it, like so. This has always been the case. So maybe this is just part of the rollout now, where they're just saying, all right, now you are ready to know about aliens, right? But
So you do believe that they've been sitting on this high tech thing, but they're just waiting there for a time. So I thought
Again,
you
not
said
just-
that you,
not- it's
you
not
ain't
just-
seen evidence. So
that's
no,
not
it doesn't exist.
that doesn't just deal with aliens. That's not just do aliens. That's just everything. That's like medicine, technology,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like splicing things. Like I've always believed that they withhold information because knowledge is power. You can't just give it to the masses, so they will pick and choose what people can handle and what they can do. That's what, again, that's why it wouldn't be shocking because that's just part and parcel of life, innit? Like we're not privy to that information. It's above our pay grade. The people who are on that pay grade know bare stuff that we don't know. That's like through not just aliens, like everything.
Yeah.
And that's something that I thought that was just common
it is,
knowledge.
because it's business to a certain degree as well. Like if you look at Apple drip feed us new upgrades. They could have given us this particular iPhone quake ago, but that's not good business. I mean,
But I'm saying, like, if there was like an impending war with another species or something, then that matters, isn't it, or something like that.
That's
Like, I want something tangible. Like, if it's just they're there, if they're just there, so what? As far as I'm concerned, they've been there. If that makes sense.
They said that there is a secret Cold War between America, Russia, and China regarding the advancement of these things. He's suggesting that it's not just the American government who's doing.
Yeah, but that Cold War, no, that's humans. Humans always gonna fuck each other up because humans are idiots. So that's neither here nor there. I mean, an impending war
between aliens and humans.
Aliens and humans.
But that's a question that will need to be asked now, right?
Yeah, well,
if they're hovering over
that's just because we know now. But why
silos? If they're hovering, they can engage it and then shut it down. Because this is one of the reports. It went up, nobody touched anything. And then before it launched, they shut it down. If you have that power, this guy's saying, if you're telling me it's the Russia that is doing all this crap, then if they can do that to our missile silos, surely the American public needs to know about this bollocks.
Yeah, that's the impending danger. That makes sense. That's interesting. But again, I was just saying, yeah, it needs to be something. It needs to be something proper because it can't just be in the name of just curiosity and that, and everybody's saying wow and wow. To what end? You get what I'm trying to say? Like what are we doing here? I need something.
I understand what you're saying because it's like once you discover aliens are real, what next?
Surely you're not saying that.
That is what you're
Surely
saying.
that can't be it because we make more of an effort to talk about crap on the timeline. You can't tell me we're just like, okay, aliens are here.
No,
impossible.
No, after the initial discourse, after conversations, after the wow factor, after oh my god, aliens are real, mind blown, yeah. What happens
Let's
is
talk
what he's
about
saying.
how it affects our religion, our religious beliefs.
Yeah, but again, that's still conversation.
But it has to be. Everything's conversation.
I know, but
it affects our life.
I think
It doesn't
that's his
affect
point, innit?
anything.
It's just
Anybody that's a
talking,
true
just
believer
talking,
would
talking.
understand God made the aliens too.
Really?
That's an easy answer for religion. That's straight.
Interesting.
But religion has always kind of religion.
What, God didn't make the aliens if they exist? God made everything.
But this is where the problem is because a lot of the time religion kind of makes it seem as though God had all the answers and given us the answers in those holy books.
That's true.
Yeah, but he may not. I think God gives us what he wants us to know. Like, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, but remember, we're kind of individuals. But the people who kind of, let me not say run these religions, but people at the top, right, very influential, act as though the answers are all in the books.
Yeah, but that's...
And they didn't say this.
They didn't say it.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at these human beings as God, so you can tell me what you want to tell me. You're not God, innit? Like, God fed you what he wanted to feed you. You're his vessel on earth.
No, without being stupid, it would have had a massive effect on religion, no?
Yeah, but...
Because everything you know.
I'm speaking to what you're speaking of.
Yeah,
which is just... All we're going to do is discuss these things and be wowed by it and dissect. And I think you're talking to what's actually happening tangibly, besides having conversations, discussions, discourse around everything.
You don't think them hardcore activists are going to try and find these things? What? They are going to.
I'm speaking for him right now, not for myself.
The discourse leads to activism. You know this.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's clear that the government have been lying through their teeth. You think these activists are just going to be like, look at Just Stop Oil. See how steady they are and doing what they're doing?
Who? Just Stop Oil?
Just Stop Oil. They're going to be like, what, you guys have clocked this everlasting power source and you're still looking to destroy the earth? Nah, we're going to double up in numbers. Entire motorways are going to get shut down now.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm saying. Like, is there like some never-ending power source? Like not like something that's gonna change. I need something that's gonna change the world.
But you know the thing is though, yeah. Surely, if these things have come here, because they haven't come from another planet. I don't think so. Anyway, right?
Wait a minute.
They haven't come from another planet. It'd probably be another galaxy completely, right? Planet in another galaxy, I should say.
Okay.
Right. So the technology to get here, like, would be insane. So if we obviously crack the codes, like you're saying, the power source, all these type of things, it revolutionizes everything in our lives, yeah?
I'm for that because I want to start living like the Jetsons. I told you, I'm ready to go.
But
we're on the way there.
But the same way you said about the what's it called, the instant transmission thing.
All that stuff.
They might not have technology. They might have instant instant transportation. Right?
Yeah, why would they need to go?
What?
If they can just go.
They might not have ships. They might just be able to just and just be wherever they want. Who knows?
And
But I think it still kind of has to be within the laws of physics. But then again,
Yeah, but we don't define the laws of physics. We don't. You know what it is? I understand, or I believe that there's so many things about this world that I'm not meant to know and I don't know. Like, for example, like
I've never understood people who
even-
say that.
What do you mean?
But there's so many things. How can you not? What do you mean you're not meant to know? I've never understood people that say that. Man's supposed to know everything or as much as you can.
I don't really. No, not.
Gotta learn. That's I've never.
No, you're misconstruing my words.
No,
I'm
no,
not
Don't
talking
get
about.
onto him after you just said. If it
No,
comes, it comes.
I'm not. No, everyone.
That's not different.
No,
That's different.
I'm not talking about me seeking out knowledge. I'm
Okay.
talking about how I see God and how I see the world.
Okay.
And I see us as just one singular planet. I see God as this all-powerful being that, like, it's like I explained to you before. Who's seen Men in Black? Men in Black 1. Remember the end of the movie where they depicted this alien as God and he had a bag full of marbles. And every single marble was a galaxy and he had like 20 marbles in the bag and he was just playing marbles. This is a being with like 20 marbles. In every marble was an entire galaxy with untold amount of universes, planets, whatever. That's how I kind of see God. Whereas we're just minuscule compared to what he can do, what he's done. That's why I understand. So that's why I believe that there's so much shit out there that we're not privy to. I mean, we don't need to be privy to it.
can I ask you a question then?
Yeah.
Because that's a good point there. Yeah. I think that will then be another ramification for religion to have to deal with, because that means if God is that being, like you're saying, who's kind of in control and created all these separate galaxies, yeah, our perception of this God through the religious lens, right, is completely skewed.
In what way?
You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Christianity. Christ is believed to be God himself, the Son of God, the Word of God, right? That was made manifest in the flesh.
Yeah.
So has he been to these other galaxies? Has he needed to? If he went to these other galaxies, would he be in the form that those creatures are in those galaxies? Like,
You're assuming he knew about them.
so what, is God finite in mind then?
And also,
You know what I'm saying? Like-
does everything have to be connected?
In what way? What do you mean?
As in, all these galaxies, all these worlds, do there have to be some type of common denominator?
If God is the sole creator,
Yeah.
somewhat. Somewhat. Though.
Just depends on his reasoning.
This is also true.
I don't,
This is also
they
true.
don't have. We as human beings, we're very inquisitive, and we want to find the answer to everything. But maybe we're not meant to find out the answers to these things. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's possible to maybe, because it's kind of like, I kind of seen it kind of in between, kind of like if there was 20 galaxies, right,
Yeah.
in God's hand, right,
Yeah.
with these marbles,
Yeah.
the fact that we know there's 20 should mean that there's something out there for us to know more about. If for example, we never knew these 20 existed,
Yeah.
then I could understand us never finding a link because it's been designed that way.
Yeah.
But if we can know more, surely there's more for us to know, and we've kind of been given permission via our free will to explore these type of things.
Yeah.
Which would mean that we have to go back and say, all these books, these ancient books, these scriptures, all this type of stuff was good for 10,000 years of civilization. But we need to kind of rethink all of this because, you know what I'm saying? Because what is it? How does Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism help us in another galaxy? Did you get where I'm coming from? How does it help us?
But we're never. Hi. I don't believe we're ever gonna live in another galaxy, or it's gonna affect our. Sorry. I hear what you're saying, but I don't see where. I don't think we're gonna live or having to.
I get what you mean.
I mean, have to deal with living in another galaxy. I think we're gonna continue to live here and face our reality here.
One last point before we wrap up here. Remember before I mentioned this on the show. Remember, I think it was like in the late 30s. They had this radio show, The War of the Worlds, and the world went crazy. All they did was play this tape on the radio, but obviously back then not everyone had like TV. Was TV even about? Yeah, everyone listened to the radio. All the information was from the radio. So if you didn't catch this particular show from the beginning, telling you it's a show, you tuned in thinking there was a real life attack. People went crazy, right? because they just heard aliens and it being on the news and the radio, this, that, and the third. If the government comes out and says, yo, it's true, these are here, but if they just mention the words, we don't know why, isn't that the same kind of effect as they are attacking? For a lot of people.
Yeah, I suppose they feel like that. Definitely.
That's why it's important, man. This is how these are some of the ramifications, man, the consequences of this information being there and why they were hidden it.
Do you think they was wrong to hide it?
No. I believe people in power are there for a reason. To some degree. Right. What I mean is I don't think the public is ready for certain things. I really don't. And I think those people are kind of there to make sure we don't, because we can't deal with the information they deal with. I don't believe so.
So you felt that the world wasn't ready for this stuff?
I think now we're kind of getting it. Small, little by little. You know what I'm saying?
Because of the movies that we've been watching.
Yeah, but also because this doesn't seem threatening the way David Grush is saying it. He's basically saying, I've not seen it. These guys, I believe them, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? No one's come out and said, yo, these aliens are 7 foot tall. No one said, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can bench press 1,000 kg and they look like they're coming to kill us. You know what I'm saying? It's still kind of, okay, let me learn about this. Rather than, oh my days, I need to make sure I build a bunker. I need to, you know what I'm saying? So it's a bit, you know. But anyway, I think we can wrap up there, man.
Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, so our next headline is trigger warning here, guys. The suspended Chief Constable of Devon and Cornwall Police is being investigated over serious allegations of sexual offences in Northern Ireland. Will Kerr was a police officer in Northern Ireland for 27 years before leaving in 2018. And in a statement on Wednesday, he said he denied any allegations of criminality. Mr. Kerr joined Devon and Cornwall Police in December, where he's subject to a separate investigation. This is being led by the IOPC, the Independent Office of Police Conduct, over the misconduct allegations. He was suspended from his role by the police and the crime commissioner yesterday on Wednesday. The police ombudsman for Northern Ireland said it had launched a criminal investigation on the 16th of June into serious allegations of sexual offences. It said details about the exact nature of the allegations against Mr. Kerr and any early investigative actions remain confidential. But yeah, we'll give more updates on that. Next headline, a big trigger warning here as well. And a man who served 17 years in prison has had his rape conviction overturned after fresh DNA evidence emerged linking another suspect to the crime. Andrew Malkinson was jailed for life with a minimum term of 7 years after he was found guilty of the 2003 attack on a woman in Greater Manchester, but stayed in jail for another decade because he maintained his innocence. So obviously he didn't come out and say, look, I'm guilty and get a lesser time. So no DNA evidence linked him to the crime, with the prosecution case based solely on contested eyewitness identification. His case was referred to the Court of Appeal in January by the CCRC, the Criminal Cases Review Commission, on the basis of new DNA evidence that identified another suspect, only at the moment identifiable as Mr. B, who has now since been arrested. The GMP, the Greater Manchester Police, and the Crown Prosecution Service, the CPS, did not contest the appeal, and the 57-year-old's conviction has been quashed by 3 senior judges. And the last headline takes us to Africa, where soldiers in the West African country of Niger have announced a coup on national TV. They said that they had dissolved the constitution and suspended all institutions and closed the nation's borders. The Niger president, Mohamed Bazoum, has been held by troops from the presidential guard since early on Wednesday. He was promised Washington's unwavering support in a call from the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. The UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, also said he had spoken to the president and offered the UN's full support. Mr. Bazoum is a key Western ally in the fight against Islamist militancy in West Africa. 2 neighboring countries, Mali and Burkina Faso, have experienced coups triggered by jihadist uprisings in recent years. In both countries, the new military leaders have fallen out with France, which is their former colonial power, which also formerly ruled Niger. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into Word on Road. Okay, so trigger warning on the first bit of news. So basically, Kevin Spacey has been found, his case is concluded, and he's been found not guilty of sexually assaulting 4 men. So he had his trial, well, his trial was concluded yesterday, and so basically he was accused, that's the word, yeah, that is the word. He was accused of sexual assaults between 2001 and 2013. And yeah, he's just been found not guilty of everything. So the charges against him was, he had 7 counts of sexual assault against him. There was 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent, and no, he had 9. And 1 count of causing a person to engage in penetrative sexual activity without consent. And all the victims were obviously at the trial, and they obviously, well, not obviously, but they did address the court and stuff, and said how they felt about him and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, the jury didn't find him guilty on any of it. And he did speak to the public, the reporters outside, and he says, "I imagine that many of you can understand that there's a lot for me to process after what has just happened. But I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. I'm humbled by the outcome." And yeah, so that's that case concluded. Next is a UK influencer called Liyah Mai. Basically, flew to Turkey and has been arrested in Turkey. There isn't an update on what her situation was, because she had a court hearing yesterday morning. But basically, she was arrested for theft. So she stole the guy who I believe allegedly flew her out, stole his watches or something like that with her friend. And she was the only one that was caught, and she was caught on CCTV as well. So awkward. And yeah, so yeah, she's in jail, basically. Someone did put out the person who put out this information said, to whom this may concern, is so funny, but to whom this may concern, Liyah Mai is currently sleeping in a police station in Turkey after being arrested for stealing 2 watches. There were 2 males involved and an additional female whom she passed on the watches to, all of which are suspected to be UK residents. She is scheduled to attend court tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. In relation to these charges. She's currently facing up to 1 year in Turkish prison and has been caught on CCTV with her accomplices. And basically, the person kind of put out a thing of any of her friends who can see this and who's got the watches, you might want to give it back so she can be freed. But apparently this is not her first rodeo. It's not her first theft.
She's been accused of stealing anything before,
She's been accused of stealing before. So there's that. But obviously some people will use this as a time to start hating on influencers and stuff like that.
Is she even an influencer?
That's the thing. Obviously we use that word very loosely. It's, for lack of a better word.
She's just buff with bare followers, man. These guys these people ain't nobody. I don't know why anyone cares or puts any stock in nothing these idiots do.
I don't get it. But people use that as the time for them to start showing the hateration spirit on actual influencers and they all just go around and sleep with men for money and da-da-da-da. The people be working hard, the girls be working hard. Don't you ever get that twisted. But yeah, so hopefully she can sort her situation out. And my last bit for you guys today, inside news, Beyonce's mum has filed for divorce from her husband, Richard Lawson.
Huh?
That was a bit of a shocker.
Oh, I was thinking about Beyonce's dad.
Not Matthew Knowles.
Yeah.
No one cares about Matthew. Matthew? No one talks about Matthew. No one cares about Matthew.
I thought that was her husband.
No. She divorced Matthew years ago. She's been married to Richard for 8 years. Where have you been?
Wait, I don't know.
Matthew got dropped by the mum, got dropped by Beyonce, got dropped by Solange because he was a snake, and then they only recently reconciled with him and stuff. It's a whole thing. He was cheating on her and all sorts, and amongst a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, no one cares for Matthew. So about Richard, the wholesome Richard. He's an actor as well. But yeah, so they filed for divorce on Tuesday, and as a lot of couples state, it's irreconcilable differences. That's all we know for now. But apparently they've been living separately for a minute now. So, but yeah, man, all the best to both of them, and I hope they figure it out. But that is all from me. Let's get into People's Journal.
people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I will mention, pardon me. There ain't much to mention today, to be fair. But remember before, everyone was talking about how there should be a windfall tax on all these oil companies and things of that nature. Well, Shell have announced a big fall in their second quarter of its financial year, man. And it's largely due to the energy prices plunging from the peak during, the Russia-Ukraine war. So they basically reported net profits of just over $5 billion for the 3 months to the end of June, right? And the figure represents a drop of more than 50% on the 11.5 billion that they achieved in the same period last year, which is, and fell short of analysts' estimates as well. Obviously, people are not. I'm not trying to defend the oil companies or nothing, but nobody's really going to care about this. You know what I'm saying? And no one's going to factor in that. Wait a minute, like you lot wanted to take a big tax from them the year before when their profits were huge, but now they've gone down by half. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to think of the ramifications of taxing. I think private organizations, man, it does have an effect on regular people. I'm telling you. But yes, anyway, the next one. British Gas, their profits have soared, man. Guess how much they soared by, percentage-wise?
200.
200%? No.
The profits.
Mm-hmm.
They're thieves, man. 128.
Nope.
Is it lower or bigger or higher?
What's more?
Whose profits, sorry?
British Gas.
50.
Nope. Brent?
512%.
Almost 900.
Fucking hell.
In a cause he lives.
Yo. I need
And
to
you
go
say they shouldn't. You know what your last sentence was? About be careful about taxing the rich. That's wild, man.
Well, it's not because of all, what you think, right? Basically, what they're saying is the bulk of the growth, was not down to, the whole windfall thing, basically getting loads of money from the high energy prices, right? But rather a reduction in debt-related costs.
They will say that, though, wouldn't they?
That's true.
I would. Exactly.
But that's the reason, isn't it? Because obviously they know people have access to this, or at least we're going to be waiting to hear about, their profits, like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So they have to come with a nice story to justify why they've got 900% increase, you know what I'm saying, in half-year profits.
Should have said allegedly when they said it wasn't. It is alleged.
It's mad. Another thing as well, probably everyone's pretty much heard about this, but basically the Fed, they've raised the US interest rates again. I don't think I mentioned yesterday that they're going to be deciding on that, but yeah. The Federal Reserve has raised it, man. They've increased it by another 0.25 percentage points in an effort, as they always say, to further bring down inflation. And yeah, man, they said obviously the full effect of the previous raises have yet to be felt. So we've had to add another 0.25%. At least it's 0.25%. Last was it? A couple of weeks ago, the Bank of England did a whole 0.5%. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of doing increments in it. But anyway, what they're saying is, they're still just trying to get a handle on inflation, man. And yeah, they don't really know where this is going to go yet. It has kind of tapered off in terms of the rate of inflation, but inflation is still here, man. And obviously, we're still feeling the impact on a day-to-day.
Ain't we all?
And
Not British Gas, though.
you know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal today,
All right, lovely. Let's get into Woke a Joke. Bills today.
Oh yeah, no, I missed the first one. Yes, they're expensive. So today's Woke a Joke, I'm gonna give you two small ones, and basically the first one is more so kind of like if you think there's some shady business behind this. So there's a man called Sam Altman, but I'm not sure you've maybe heard of him, and he's basically an AI entrepreneur. He's part of the whole cryptocurrency world. And he's come up with something. Brent, I put it in the...
He's the CEO of OpenAI.
Thank you very much. Hey, there you go. And this guy, obviously, he's now come up with something else, right? And it's pretty much, he's created this orb, right? And it kind of scans people's irises. and it basically gives you access to digital coins that you can exchange in the crypto world. And I guess one of the main things for this is kind of to help distinguish between those who are real life human beings and those who are kind of maybe created by AI. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It sounds kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? But my question is, do you feel like he's kind of in on the overall idea to kind of get everyone's details?
What's this thing do?
So basically, it allows you. So, all right.
Listen this time, please.
so basically,
I'm listening. I listened. It didn't make sense. It said just.
It's a few different things. There's a few different things, right? But basically, this whole thing is it's called WorldCoin, and it gives people digital coins in exchange for a scan of their eyeballs, yeah. So you remember
It gives people what?
digital coins like cryptocurrency,
So if I scan my eyeballs, it gives me crypto.
yeah. So you can now trade in the crypto world, right?
But you can get. Can't you just buy crypto and trade it in the crypto world?
Yeah, but you
Well,
don't
you get it
have
for
this
free.
one. You don't have this. You don't have WorldCoin.
Of course, a different tries to steal your identity.
And you think you didn't need to say that shit again? This is nonsense.
Because
Anyway.
it starts with your eyeballs. Next thing is your fingerprint and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So do you feel like he's?
Of course he is.
But is he part of the government thing, or is this his
But
own? Like Brent was saying, private.
But what's his justification for?
What's he gonna do with
for
the scan of the
scanning
eye? What's he gonna do with it once he scans the eye?
Basically, what he's trying to say is
Sell your eyes to the government.
he just has the information. It's just like what is Meta and Twitter doing with your information?
No, but what is his reasoning for the eye scan?
Well, what he's basically saying, there's more to it. But what he's basically
There's got to be a
saying is-
trade-off. If they're gonna scan my eye and give me coins for it,
Yeah.
what happens now with my eye scan?
He's selling it.
I don't know.
If these companies can sell your phone numbers, where you're getting them PPI calls and whatever, you think someone has access to your eyeball, they're not going to sell it.
Yeah, but then
I'm
sell it
selling
and
it for
do what?
less.
What's the benefits of having my eye scan?
We don't know. It's what makes
It's
it
information,
so.
it's information they're going to withhold from you because you're not ready for it
I'm
yet.
confused. So what's
They're going to create some movies and
what's the
whatnot,
story
and in 50
then?
years you find out.
Like, what's the actual story? He's scanning your eyeballs because.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. Like, basically, one of the main aims is basically to distinguish human beings from like AI created stuff.
Okay.
I guess safety, right? He's also saying the concept, that this could pave the way for an AI-funded universal basic income. So
AI-funded universal.
yeah. So you know how people,
Don't sound right.
you know what I'm saying? But in terms of the idea, in terms of how citizens will get salaries, everyone gets a certain amount of income to kind of keep the world running, whatever it may be, whatever type of idea this kind of puts into your mind. He's basically saying this could help facilitate that idea. Because there are people out there who believe there should be some type of universal, basic income. I'm not trying to send for the socialists or communists out there, but basically, you know what I'm saying? People who kind of believe these type of things, like that whole dystopian worldview, right? They're saying that, he's saying this could kind of facilitate this. It's a first step in that kind of direction. But firstly, do you feel like there's some ulterior motive?
Probably.
Yeah.
Could it not just be like...
They got his eye for nothing. For a picture, they said.
but when you're walking down the street and you see people with like cans of drink or something, and they give you a free drink, right? Just to promote their product.
Yeah, but they're
Could this
promoting their
not be
product.
the same thing?
No,
Like, he's
not with
promoting
your eye.
WorldCoin.
If they said to me, yeah, put your thumb on there, give me your fingerprint for exclusive Coke, I'm not doing it.
Would you do it for £1,000?
No.
Okay. Would you
How
do it
much?
for-
How much WorldCoin do you get?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure at the moment.
25.
25 WorldCoins.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. There you go.
How much is a coin in a minute?
Yeah, I was about to ask. How
It's
much is that
roughly
coin?
$2 right now.
Meaty coin, bro.
Whack house coin.
Why can't?
That's at the moment though. Remember? If it takes off.
Yeah, in
know what I'm
30 years,
saying?
you know how many coins I've got that I just still want
Mate,
Would you do it, bro?
meaty coins, bro.
No.
What?
I even think that Apple's gonna be releasing like goggles soon, like glasses, to interact with to do AR.
Haven't they already released it? No, they announced that already, no? The
You talking
headset.
about the Oculus?
I don't know what it's called.
Facebook? Meta?
Facebook. No, didn't Apple, the product that cost $3,500?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna make it available to many people.
Oh.
But not this one, obviously, because it's still expensive. But Google's also going to do it. So everybody's going to be going that direction. So him collecting this is bound to be part of some database that they're going to utilize in some
Yeah, of course it's database.
some
You can just collect people's
somewhere
eye
down
scans
the
for no
line.
reason.
I'm not going to give you this for free. Especially if it is you're not being.
Super phrase for WorldCoin.
No, this is I have enough coins, valuable coins.
And also, any coin they're willing to give away just for an eye scan, it ain't worth nothing. You think you're gonna get rich off WorldCoin because of an eye scan? Nah.
But it also does tell you that everything is being digitalized. So you should use that information. Never mind.
Yeah, so, you know, it sounds a bit, you know, somehow, but we're getting there, man. And the next thing I wanted to mention, yeah, and tell me what you think of this. Yeah, basically, obviously, I'm not trying to make a joke of the situation, but there is a story of, a blind young boy, a blind boy who's 14 years old, right? And he has his vision restored by eye drops, right, that used a particular substance. I want you to tell me what the substance is. I'm going to give you 3 options. Right, it's right there. Okay, cool. So these 3 options is his parents, basically. This is some background knowledge. They are like devout Christians. Devout. They've actually been to Jerusalem, all that type of stuff, right? And one of them had a vision about how, you know the same story in the Bible? Yeah. The pool of Bethsaida, where the guy, with a paralyzed guy, and he needed help to get into the pool because they believed, you know, there was an angel that would come and stir the waters. And if you got in there first, you got healed. Yeah. Right? Cool. They basically went there on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, and they've got water from that.
Okay.
They got water from that, yeah? And they actually basically used that to heal this blind boy, right?
Okay.
So that's one story. The second story is they've taken DNA from his toenails, yeah? And they've actually basically re-engineered it somehow. I'm using the wrong words. And basically used it to repair his sight.
What country is that? What country is it from?
This is in the UK. It's in the UK. Okay. Or they've used basically herpes to do this.
You ask which one is it?
Which one of this? Which one of these stories is real? How have they cured this blind boy?
It's got to be herpes.
Okay. I think it's the water. There's nothing faith can't do.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's the water.
I'm just gonna go to the first one as well. I'm not even gonna justify the other 2.
With the Bible?
Even if they're not real.
So
Even if they're real, I don't believe it.
Was that?
If the herpes
Yeah,
is real, I don't
even
believe
if the toenail and the herpes one is real, I'm just gonna go with the first one.
Okay, is that somebody calling to give a suggestion?
Probably not.
Mark, what do you think?
Herpes or something.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Or not.
All right, call back.
All right, cool. Well, you know, bro, yeah, what did you say?
He said herpes.
I said herpes.
You know he said herpes. Ain't gonna ask him.
So we got 2 herpes and we got
2 faithful people.
Good morning, caller.
Morning.
All right.
We
can hear you stripsing. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Your connection's higgy.
Okay, but my voice doesn't sound like I'm doing Liam Neeson ransom, right?
Is this is Vibe Z? Yeah. It's still kind of like.
Yeah, you're going for a tunnel.
Yeah. The aliens have got her. We're not hearing you properly.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We can hear you now.
No.
Oh, baby, you moved. You moved.
Sound like a ninja turtle.
I think you should call via
Call back,
WhatsApp.
call back.
Yeah.
Call by WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Oh, come out of your layer.
Well, I'll give you the answer before Good Vibes caller calls back. Yeah, and basically the answer is not.
What she's? Do you think she's going to call in to give an answer? Actually, no, it's fine.
No, she's calling for something in 10 minutes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Before it's 10 minutes. That's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, go on.
Well, the answer is not that they took the DNA from his toenail.
Good.
Right, cool.
That's disgusting.
It's also not that the parents are devout Christians and went to Jerusalem. No,
What is it?
It's herpes
they used deactivated herpes virus. Yeah,
to heal sight.
to heal this
That's
guy's
lit,
sight.
Put
Yeah.
that in my eyes, bro. If it works, it works.
Ew. Where did they get the herpes from?
The man them.
Also, how did they come to that hypothesis?
Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Like, he went to the clinic and left their herpes
how did they come
behind.
to that realization?
Like, this is what herpes can do.
Yeah.
You can use this.
They reverse engineered, innit?
And how many things did they try before they tried that?
Yeah, trust me.
Man, it's crazy. But yeah, man, a doctor went to a clinical trial to do with this topical gel, which was made from deactivated herpes. And he thought, you know what? If I use this gel, which basically he used it to deliver working copies of a collagen-producing gene, right, which could be reconfigured as eye drops. So I think in the clinical trials, maybe used for something else. And he thought, what if I did this here?
But is it one of
And he
those?
was right.
Is it one of those things where the boy was completely blind, or is it one of those medically blind? So you have like 75% of your vision, but medically,
As far as I'm aware, like completely blind, man. He spent most of his life blind.
how old is he?
14.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, man. He had a rare disease, man. Yeah,
That's so interesting.
It affects 1 in 50,000 children.
Oh,
So
wow.
hopefully this could be something that
Can help
paves
the
the
other.
way. Yeah, it's very expensive at the moment, though. By the way, it costs. Guess how much it costs?
How much it cost?
600K.
That's all right.
Is it?
NHS, man.
But he was the, what's it called? He was when they tried it on, so he didn't have to pay for it.
I don't know. I couldn't say it, to be honest with you.
If it's one in, actually, no, the government won't want to pay for it, would they? 'Cause if it's 1 in 500,000
50,000.
or 50,000,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for World Good Talk, guys.
Interesting, man. All right, should we do our last headlines?
Let's do it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, there's a trigger warning here on this one. I'm not too sure if you lot heard the background story about this particular person, but basically a former British rapper, once believed to be an ISIS killer, Jihadi John, right? To be the ISIS killer, Jihadi John, has been found dead in his prison cell in Spain. Abdel Majid Abdel Bari, who's 32 or was 32, had been tried earlier this month at a court in Madrid on suspicion of heading jihadist cell, basically, and he allegedly formed after leaving Syria, and he was awaiting the verdict. He's understood to have been found dead at prison in El Porto de Santa Maria in Cadiz in southwest Spain. One unconfirmed local report said that his body presented no obvious signs of any violence, right? An internal Spanish prison service investigation is now going to be taking place, and his family will be given the right to hold their own autopsy aside from the official post-mortem to establish the exact cause of death. A bit of backstory: he was arrested with 2 men described as aides less than a week after being smuggled onto a beach on Spain's southeast coastline in April of 2020. He was actually born in Egypt, but he was raised and schooled in London. He was stripped of his British citizenship after allegedly joining ISIS and was charged after a long-running investigation sparked by his arrest at a hideaway rented flat in Almeria. But yeah, this was happened. Next headline, big trigger warning here in this one. And this is some disturbing information that's come about, from the court documents surrounding the whole Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell case. And basically, it's come out that, according to these new court documents anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell groomed a 16-year-old autistic girl who had mosaic Down syndrome, calling her beautiful darling and comparing her to a doll after receiving her from a trafficker. The girl has not been named. She's now in her 30s, right? She's suing Leon Black, who is a 71-year-old billionaire, right? He's Epstein's associate, claiming that, again, trigger warning here, claiming that he sodomized her with sex toys in 2002 when she was just 16 at Epstein's home. He's obviously denying the allegations through his attorney. In court documents obtained by the Daily Mail, this is,
Epstein.
Epstein, yeah.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah. This is Epstein's associate that she's suing.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say, the consultant dead now about cases? Okay.
Yeah, this is his associate, who's a billionaire, 71-year-old billionaire by the name of Leon Black. Yeah, man. She says she was introduced to them by a mystery trafficker named only as Elizabeth, right, who is said to have groomed her after getting close to her while allowing her to compete in a cheerleading competition that she was too old for. The girl has mosaic Down syndrome, which involves internal chromosomal differences, but they don't actually manifest in a physical way. So she looks like any other teenager,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But she's had the developmental age of a 12-year-old. You know what I'm saying? This is what her lawyers are saying. And this person who trafficked her, Elizabeth, brought this girl to live with her, where she was subjected to like violent sexual abuse and physical beatings. This is all
That's
written
so
in the
horrible, man.
court documents. It's ridiculous. The girl's parents, who are not named as well, allowed her to go and live, to go and live with Elizabeth. But obviously they were unaware of the horrors that lay in store for her, right? She was forced to watch Elizabeth and many male partners have sex and was not even given a bed to sleep in at their home. All of this type of stuff, like just tortured this woman. But eventually Elizabeth and this other guy called Charlie, who's one of the many male partners, they took this girl to an adult party in a suburb outside of DC. And this is basically, according to the attorneys, when she was then introduced to Epstein and Maxwell. So yeah, there's a lot more information on that. But yeah, if you're interested, you can kind of look that up. And the last headline takes us to, sorry, it's gone. But you know that, where was it? You know the celebrity chef. Oh gosh, sorry, my document is messing up with me.
Gerson Fuentes.
No, it's not even. So I think I might have to come back to that.
Let's read it.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not in the thingy. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we can pass that anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, guess time to pay those bills.
That's right. Interview?
Let's do it.
Let's get into our interview. We'll be back. We'll be back in a minute, but can you guys like the video while we're away, please? Thanks. Is it muted?
Oh, what's up?
Are you confused? What's good? On?
No, I'm just making sure.
So yeah, what direction you wanna go?
You go from here. It's just easier.
Okay, that way, yeah.
And then
How are we reading off here?
from the bottom. Oh yeah.
Why do we always make this so complicated?
Do you know? I just think everyone just goes forever in it, but just pay attention to what the
But even
previous
the
person
bottom, the
said.
ones are even blank.
I think
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just
skip the blank ones.
I think
No, but I mean,
pick
isn't it
random
just
ones.
easier just to go from
No, because I'm adding to the list, innit? So those would have been
Oh, I was
done.
gonna
Yeah.
say pick random ones.
But
So,
you know what?
who has to answer the questions?
Both of them.
All right.
Yeah. It'll make
We'll
sense.
explain the rules in this.
it'll
Yeah,
make
'cause
sense.
it's
Okay.
confusing.
What's happening?
You know, I think S is right. You know, pick a random one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick a random one.
Yeah,
Random
whatever one you want to make
Let's randomize it
spicy.
today.
But you have to listen to the other person, so you don't.
Yeah,
pick
don't say the
one.
same thing.
Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
out of the game.
Yeah, you start making this complicated, but go on.
I think that's the easiest way.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Obviously in the same order. Yeah, cool.
So who's starting you?
Yeah.
Are you going to explain to them what's going on?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, we're not. Are we muted? We're not muted yet. Are we still?
Oh, we're live.
Oh,
Still?
we're live.
Oh, this guy.
I was gonna say I can
Can't get the
see
stuff.
stuff happening over there.
Okay, all right. So, yesterday, I know, you know, obviously,
Sorry, Brent. I think you might want to adjust the camera.
Why? For you.
what's
yeah.
going on there? There we go.
I wasn't even talking about me. I was talking about the couch. But me
Oh,
as
is
well.
it?
Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah.
What?
Is that this one here? No, but
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
but
got, he's got his own
He's
camera.
got his own.
Oh, you got
yeah,
it on
he's got
camera?
his own.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
got
I
his
thought that
own.
was for both
oh,
of
that's
you.
gonna
Sorry.
bug me there. Okay,
Oh,
all right.
don't look at it.
Exactly. I just look at you. Are you ready? All right. So I know sometimes, you know, we love our listeners and stuff, yeah. And sometimes we tell them to do things and they refuse to do it, like in the video. Well, yesterday we gave a very important task to be completed, and that was to watch Dreaming Whilst Black. That's on BBC iPlayer, right? I hope to God that you guys did, because we did say there's going to be a lot of spoilers.
Yes.
And I did say that I will be cussing anybody that complains about said spoilers, because we gave them notice, right? So we have two of the main characters from the show with us today. Please kindly introduce yourselves and also your character's name in the series.
Hey, my name is Adjani Salmon, and the character I play in Dreaming Whilst Black is Kwabena.
Love it.
Go up in that.
And I play. No, I don't. I'm Dani Moseley, and I play Amy.
Love it, love it, love it. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, man, good.
Good.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming here.
It
We
feels a bit
appreciate
surreal seeing someone on TV yesterday and then seeing them in real life
it.
the
Today.
next day. The first time it's happened in my life. It's quite cool.
They look the same.
Yeah? Yeah, they look exactly the same.
The makeup made me look a bit more, you know what I mean?
I literally binge watched the whole thing yesterday.
Yeah, I binge watched it as well.
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I told you it's an easy watch.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
easy-
Yeah,
it's
it's
easy
such an
watch.
easy watch.
Yeah.
Did
Even
you
I
watch
watched,
it from episode 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All the way through.
you know what? I made a mistake.
What?
I pressed play thinking I was watching episode 1. I was actually watching episode 6. I watched episode 6 first.
Do you know what I did that with? Top Boy.
So then, when episode 2 played, the real episode 2, I was like, where's his girlfriend? And where's the agent?
Oh, that's such a spoiler.
But then I thought, you know how some shows show you the ending, then show you how
Oh,
they
like how
got
to
to
get
the
murdered.
ending. I thought, okay, cool. They,
a flashback.
They
But then
showed
you
me
went
the
to
end.
episode 2, so you didn't even do episode 1.
No, I thought episode 1 last.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so you
Sorry.
didn't really get the
No,
the show.
I did, because it's a compliment to you. I understood everything. The show is very cohesive. It all links. Even though I watched episode 1 last, it all made perfect sense.
So you watched.
It made perfect sense.
So you watched episode 6, then 2, 3, 4,
4,
5,
5.
1.
Yeah. But it made sense. It made perfect sense. No, it made perfect sense.
Okay.
No, it's
Well, credit to your writing skills.
it's easy to follow. All episode 1 done was filling certain holes.
That's the
Okay,
one.
yeah.
As like obviously you were working in recruiting before.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, and how you met your girlfriend, how you met Amy.
No, your girlfriend.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, yeah.
Yeah.
So it just filled in a few gaps. Even though how you two met each other, because I didn't see initially how you met. That's
Well,
That's
our
what
characters
I-
already knew each other, but obviously
Yeah,
yeah.
but the fact that
mad.
you came from Nigeria, you were working at the So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Mad.
It makes
Yes,
sense.
So what was it like filming that? Who wrote it again? Sorry.
So myself,
Yeah.
my brother Ali Hughes, and Yemi Oyefoa wrote 2 eps.
Oh, sick. So when did you write it?
Which version of it?
I was
we've
gonna
written,
say.
like-
Really?
Yeah. So we did a web series in 2018.
Yeah.
And yeah, that took like 2 years to do. and we wrote the pilot actually in 2021.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, that's when it took like a year to write. That was the first time with BBC.
Your lockdown was very productive. Love that.
The what?
Your lockdown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, my
Very
lockdown
productive.
was
Love that.
crazy. And then, after that came out, obviously we got the commission, and then, we spent the next year writing, like with all of us writing the next 5.
So was it like a true story of like you doing the same thing, trying to find funding to shoot it and thing, all that kind of stuff?
No, I mean,
web series.
for the web series, For the web series, but obviously when you're going the machine, like BBC is a
Sorry, just
machine.
I know, right? But just people who don't know, what is a web series and how is that different?
Well, a web series is like, hood documentaries,
Okay.
Swills, the whole big shot thing.
Okay, yeah.
I can't solve it. YouTube shows.
Okay, YouTube shows. Okay.
Normally self-funded YouTube shows.
Okay, so then you had to get commissioned for this show, BBC, but not the web series.
No, so we got the web series was a concept. So
Okay.
BBC commissioned the concept and we had to rewrite basically the whole thing.
That's amazing. But how did you get in touch with BBC? Was that your main? Did you go for them? She's like, why are you looking at me? Literally, why am I in it? But did you go to them? Did you pitch to them directly, or did you pitch to other people as well?
Nah, man. You send out cold because at the time I wasn't signed, right?
Okay.
So you just kind of send out cold emails to everybody.
Yeah. No,
Dreamers Black's a documentary.
I just got a flashback to the show. It's like I'm not signed yet.
Yeah, so literally you send out cold emails to everybody. Obviously nobody no respond. And then randomly I went to our Virgin screening and there was a dude there who was like, yo, you watch the web series? He's like, yo, bro, love the web series. That's sick. I was like, oh yeah, safe. He's like, yo, are you signed, bro? I was like, nah. He's like, yo, so my older brother used to go to college in Nigeria and he went to school with a dude there who is now in England and is an agent. And I was like, I don't know that connection.
That link is too, you get a board out.
Too loose. And he's like, nah, I'm going to introduce him to you. And he ended up sending that agent the web series. Yeah. And the man, my brother was like, the next day he was like, yo, the man want to meet you. Like, can I give him your number? I was like, yo, sick. So I've been with Christian since, but Christian kind of pitched it out to everybody.
Yeah.
And from then, like, we sent it to everybody. And obviously we're not going to name everybody, but like, BBC is the only one who took it. I'll just say that.
Do you know, can I put a pause in that? Do you know what's mad? We spoke about the 140 just before we went live. Yes. I got very excited just to know about the show. And we haven't done it. So basically, this is the game we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
So we have with our guests, we play a 140 game with them. So there's a beat and we ask you questions. Some of them are like, this or that questions. And some of them they actually have answers, like factual answers.
Oh.
Yeah. So we do have a leaderboard, right? With all our guests.
Which I've never seen.
What type of questions?
No, it's one of those. It's the same way with
random
the
questions,
with
but
the
it's done over
TV show.
140 BPM beat.
So we have to answer on beat.
I mean, you look cooler if you did. You don't have to, but you look better if you
That
did.
pressure's only on like rappers and stuff. If it's you're a writer, you're fine.
Because they're not going to ask you the questions on beat, so.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
If you're not
Guess
answering on
what?
beat, then
What are you saying about us? So we're not asking.
No. The beats are irrelevant. It's
cool.
Yeah, so it's just the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
No pressure, of course. So what we'll do, are they working as a team? Like,
Yeah, like I guess whoever knows the answer. But
can say it.
Yeah, I can pretty much say it.
yeah. But I will say it does go not the fastest, but you don't have time to whispers and stuff.
Oh,
You gotta be just.
You got to give each other the eye. Yeah, you got to be quick with it. Give each other the eye and just someone
all
go.
right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Lovely.
So when that beat drops.
it's early for this pressure. I
No, man. But we've been here since 8, so we're alert.
We're starting in 3, 2, 1.
Writing or directing?
Directing.
What ethnic group has the greater population in UK? Asian or black?
Asian.
Strength or size?
Why not?
I knew that was coming. Strength.
Strength.
No size.
Strength.
Power.
She's at strength.
Who is the biggest selling black UK artist?
Sonzi.
Who is older, Idris Elba or Roger Griffiths?
Roger.
What currency is used in Jamaica?
Jamaican dollars.
What African country does Lukaku originate from?
Come on, Danny.
Is that French colony? Is it Cote d'Ivoire? No.
Pass.
Pass.
What's the most populated country in the Caribbean?
Cuba.
Who passed away first, Princess Diana or Michael Jackson?
Princess Diana.
All black or all white?
All black.
Central C or Tion Wayne?
Tion Wayne.
What word is spelled incorrectly in every English dictionary?
Ooh.
What? I just put incorrectly. What's that one?
Twerk.
That's a good one.
Also, just to go back to the Princess Diana thing, that joke you made in the show about Princess Diana, was that easy for you to put in there? Or
Well,
was there any pushback on that?
When we got notes, we go to the BBC
Yeah.
and then I get notes.
Yeah.
The day we're getting notes on episode 2 is the day Queen Elizabeth died.
I'll swear that.
Is it? Oh, that's all.
And we pull up, and obviously you see all the thing. And me and Ali were just like, bruv, we're not gonna get this joke, you know.
When I heard that, I thought, right, they kept that in. Like, you're allowed to keep that in.
But obviously it was a conversation.
But you know
we were
what
just
it
like,
is?
bruv, by the time the show comes out,
What's the joke?
new news.
They basically allude to the fact that the Queen killed Princess Diana.
But you know what made it great for me, yeah, is like, because I'm Nigerian, right? So whenever Nigerian culture is featured in things, I like when it's gotten right.
Until
And I could not believe it was to a T.
Yeah.
And I already loved her, yeah. And then when she said the princess that, she said, but they killed her Diana. I said, oh, that's fun.
Auntie Lola.
I said, that is
She was
spot
dope, she was
on.
dope,
That was
yeah,
lit.
dope.
That was lit.
Shout out to Kimmy, she's great.
Yeah,
Great
she's
actress.
amazing.
That was lit. Okay, so where we got to before the game, how did they do, by the way?
They did quite well, you know.
Yeah.
Quite well. I think you maybe got only like 2 wrong.
Where's Lukaku from?
Congo.
Do you know something that goes like, I was like, I feel like I know that if I did Congo.
So hold on, what's the word in the dictionary that's always spelled incorrectly?
Incorrectly. That's smart.
Oh. That's what you did there.
That's actually smart. I didn't know that.
She's a nice.
Okay, so we got to the part where then BBC are the ones who, picked up the call.
Yes.
What was it like knowing, did you know who you wanted to play which characters before, or was it just straight auditions?
It was always Danny.
She was always Amy?
Yeah, Danny was always Amy. Although,
I had to still prove myself, but yes.
You auditioned for it? Yeah. Do you guys know each other before this?
she was in the web
I was in the web
series.
series.
Ah, and you made an audition for it? Even though
No, he didn't.
BBC
Okay.
did.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Listen, I said, when you go in the machine, it's different.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Cool.
yeah. Can you imagine where she didn't get it?
But was you in the panel though?
That would have been Orcs.
Yeah, I was on the
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so you always sway the votes.
So the TV show is based on the web series.
Yeah.
So the same characters in the web series are in
Yeah.
the TV show.
Yeah.
And Danny is the only actor
From the web series.
from the web series.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So they took the. Oh, wow, okay.
It's amazing for me.
Yeah.
But
Bad
everyone
for
else
the rest of
auditioned.
them.
it kind of peaked. But I guess for them, like I remember when I came in, I was like, yo, like, don't worry, we have the cast already. And they're like,
No, you don't.
No.
Literally.
Said, hold up.
Literally.
And I was like, oh no, but they're great. And they're like, no. This is the best of who you could afford.
Oof.
No, you can afford anybody. So
Big up Danny.
we're gonna do it again. Yo, big up
Love
Danny.
So so for your character actually, was that a conversation as well in terms of you playing your character?
No.
All right.
So you put that in your contract. I love that as a businessman. Because I remember, I don't know if you ever watched Insecure,
Yeah.
but with Issa Rae, the reason why she ended up going with HBO, everyone else wanted someone to play Issa Rae, and she's
Oh, is
like,
it?
Wow.
Yeah,
it's about me.
It's my
Yeah.
show. I'm
This
playing
This
the
is
main
my
character.
show. I'm the writer. I'm all of that stuff, but you don't want me to play it. And it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing.
No,
That sounds like a Sylvester Stallone situation.
with Rocky. Same thing.
Okay. So you said, you wrote the show in the 1 year that was during lockdown?
So yeah, Ali and I wrote it over lockdown. Like we got commissioned at the end of 2019. So lockdown, we just meet. I didn't Zoom. Literally just meet up on Zoom, and right, constantly.
But that was a pilot though, right?
Yeah, that was a
That
pilot.
was just a pilot.
Yeah, and you said there was different versions of it. Is it like a lot different from the web series? What's the web series called, by the way?
Dreaming Was Black. Same thing.
Same
But we
thing,
had to
okay.
take it offline.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
we wanna watch
we
it.
had to take it
Okay.
offline.
Yeah.
Was there much of a difference?
Yeah, I'd say it was
Yeah.
more direct. There were certain things that we
Was it?
just said that obviously
Yeah.
you can't just say.
Especially
'cause-
certain scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your scenes. I honestly had PTSD from my real life. I said, oh, this has been me many times. Okay. Okay.
How would you describe the show to someone who hasn't seen it?
Dreaming Was Black? Yo, it's just Dreaming Was Black is honestly just the normal black experience. Like, we're not trying to be too... It's about a character trying to be a filmmaker. But realistically, it's just about the everyday life of black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like that's what it's about, really.
I like the mix of the cultures in there, having the African and Caribbean
Yeah,
cultures together and
yeah.
the families mixing and stuff like that. That was lit.
That was cool.
fun.
Yeah,
Amazing.
This is random, right? You see when you got the bird poo on your... That was CGI, innit?
Yeah.
I looked at it, I thought that was like digital poo.
No, so to be fair,
That's
the art department did make real poo.
Okay.
But then, yeah, it just never really worked.
Oh, okay.
on camera.
I said that's CGI.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the question.
I have random questions.
No, that's cool. I like them.
You know how you mentioned how this is like the everyday experiences of black people? Obviously, a lot of these experiences are very tough to, I guess, have with the wider public. Like, where did you have to go to actually be able to communicate all of those things? Because obviously, this is not a safe comedy, innit? Like, a lot of the things are very bold, you know what I'm saying, the statements. Like, what were those conversations like? Like, when you actually maybe communicating that to the BBC?
You know what is there are two. There was two, as I said, there are two iterations. We did the pilot.
Okay.
I think the pilot was definitely tough because obviously we're new, new writers, new talent, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, this is how you do comedy. And it's like, well,
Condescending.
comedy for who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But fortunately for us, we had our commissioning editor was a black woman, Sarah Asante. So she was very much like, yo, if you could do this, you have to do it right. And she grilled us like to the word. Like even because initially the joke with the Oscars, the Oscar films in episode 1.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The film suggestions.
Yeah.
Initially, my character said she's black. And she was just like, nah, if you say it, if you say it, it may come across as I'm being antagonizing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to find a way to make him say it. And it's just like, but that don't work. But it's just literally interrogating every single line. Because she's like, look, if you could do this in front of white people, you can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
So it was very much like, just like, yo, make sure you get it right. They were on to us about that.
Was there a fear that you could get it wrong? And did you consider like the repercussions of getting it wrong?
Not really business about white people thoughts, bro.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna lie to you. It's more when we talk. It's more about it's more about how would our community feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Especially so, like for the most part, most of the characters who play or are from a cultural background are actually from the background.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but except for like Dani. So obviously Dani is
Where you from?
So my family's from Jamaica and Barbados.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, but she plays a Nigerian.
Nigerian,
character.
okay.
So it was very much like, all right, cool. Obviously we'll still write it, but it was very much like, how can we ensure that everybody feel represented properly? Because I don't want to add to the diaspora wars, you know what I'm saying? The whole point was trying to bridge the gap.
Yes.
So yeah, man, that was the more concern is like, yo, will people take to Auntie Lola and not feel like we're taking the piss?
Auntie Lola was a vibe,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
She was so
I love her, man.
she was so natural with it and just so authentic with it. It was perfect, honestly.
Yeah,
It
was
was
great.
perfect. I need to send season 2.
Rob, you know what? We did 3 writers' rooms.
Yeah.
In the first 2, her character never exists.
Really?
And it was just a thing of like, yo, we need to make a way to make episode 2 just tie up by itself. It's like, oh, what if we do like an auntie? It's like, all right, cool, boom. So it was only supposed to be in episode 2. And it's like, when we wrote her, it was like, Rob, we kind of write somebody mad still. Like, we'll continue writing the other one, them. And yeah, she just became like this
she
gift
is.
that we never
she
know
is.
we needed.
She is. What would you say like the difficulties were in terms of writing during lockdown? So when you wrote during lockdown, did you write the whole series? And then when you sat down with BBC, do you have to change a lot of that as well?
Not really. I think.
Well, we had a couple of table reads and there was a sit down about my character.
Yeah.
So there were some things and there was a whole storyline that never happened.
Yeah.
So there were rewrites.
Can you tell us, though, is that going to be in another season? I don't want to.
We have seasons. I mean, we haven't been commissioned for seasons, but we have
It's
the
happening.
story.
It's happening.
Have you been commissioned for season 2?
Nah, not
All
yet,
right.
not yet. But it was just, it's conversations and like even part of the representation again, like, yo, me dep online, you know what I'm saying? Me hear people's, black women's gripes with rappers and their,
and how they are.
Yeah. And but also like other, just see the chat online. So funny enough, you're saying Amy's character changing. When Ali and I sat down and wrote the whole thing, it was, it's just 2 men. I sit down and write everybody.
Yeah.
And then we kind of have a writer's room and bring in black women into the room, and they're just like, yeah, this is
We're not doing this.
we're not doing none of this. And then it's like, all right, cool. We're not gonna say no. You know what I mean? And even like the conversation with you and Babs, there's a conversation in Ep 4 where the 2 girls are just kind of chatting and drinking champagne. Like, funny enough, that was A24 was like, yo, you need to have these 2 girls like talk.
Yeah, do you know what? It's so authentic because when she was like, I've got Prosecco, I said,
Yeah.
guys, I love language. Yes.
Yeah, and that shout out to like Yemi. So Yemi, who was on with us, she was very much like, yo, like, if me gonna jump on this thing, certain things I've got to just pattern up. And we basically said, all right, cool, all women characters deal with it. Like, so yeah, but that was important to because we didn't think about it like that, to be like, oh, like, these 2 women should know each other like that. We're just thinking story. So it's getting the consultants. Like, we had a Nigerian consultant, we had a race relations consultant.
We have like a love story author.
We had a romance. Shout out to Talia as well. We had a romance novelist in the room. We just had different people, so that we can make sure it's cool. Everybody's voice who's on screen is in the room.
That's dope. Because you had so many dream sequences. After a certain point, it was hard for me to know what was actually going to be real. Like, when you quit your job,
Yeah.
I was like, is this going to be a
A
dream?
couple people said
Is
that.
it real? So I was waiting to see whether or not it was real.
At the karaoke bar, right?
No, when she quit your job.
office.
Oh, when you quit your job. Okay, so I was
Yeah.
thinking of when you quit your job.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, this is very big because
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been the only time I weren't sure if it was real or not.
yeah, it wasn't because I was like, oh, if you go up there and you're actually gonna be singing with this guy, I said, make this real, and I was lit.
That was one of the funniest scenes in the.
No, that was.
when my man.
No,
Yeah, when my man was singing.
The
the
Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Your boom boom. I said, what?
I'm like, yeah, he's got a fiance in Jamaica. I said, okay.
Getting got in it.
How much have you experienced in your real life from the show? Like, in terms of, does it parallel your real life? Are there things that happened in the show that you kind of wrote from a real experience?
When I say most things, even
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
like, I don't know. I feel like if you work in an office here,
Yeah.
or just interact with white people here, like,
I couldn't relate to none of that shit.
But have you worked in corporate? All right, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause I
None
remember
of it
going
is
to.
like, I see it, and obviously, I even made me think about you hearing all that
Yeah,
stuff and like
especially that
workplace.
all your
Just think, you
scenes.
are damn bad. I wouldn't put up with none of this shit. I've never had to put up with none of this shit in my life. Like,
But then,
you know what I'm saying?
that's why I like the show because it's really a reality of like sometimes you got a lot of people have stuff they're doing outside of work, but you got to have this job that pays the bills until this thing takes off.
Yes.
And so what that means is you just take a lot of disrespect and foolishness. But it's like you have to keep thinking bigger picture, bigger picture.
That's it.
But,
But like,
yeah.
I remember the first day, my first film job here actually. So, anyways, walk in, big lunchroom. I don't know, for whatever reason, me and shout out to Abu as well, and a Pakistan brother, I sit down beside each other. 2 of we knew, nobody know each other.
Do you know how funny
For
that
whatever
scene was?
reason, the 2 of we sit down beside each other. Cool. And anyway, I was like, at least 30 odd white people, at least. And one white man comes in. He's like, bloody hell, it's all the United Nations there. I mean, I say, 2 people of color
Can you
out of
imagine?
like 50 odd man make it United Nations, brother. And I was like, yo, this
That
place
is so
is
funny.
mad.
Now, when you walked to the kitchen and the South Asian lady was just sitting there,
It's like, you too, huh?
at least you looked at each other like that. Yep. No,
You didn't even need to say anything. You
Yeah.
just
you just knew.
No dialogue.
But for you, so like, how much of your role paralleled your real life?
So I used to work in finance. So that was very much what it was. And, you know, having the conversation of not being, I can only be passive or aggressive or passive aggressive. I can't be assertive. As a black woman, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And just being, anything that I said, just being taken out of context
Yeah.
and being told told about my tone and how I speak. And I've given an example before that I remember someone was telling a story that happened that I was in.
Yeah.
And then they were like, and then Dani was like, don't go there. And I was like,
Oh.
when have I ever done that? And he was like, yeah, you've done that. I said, when? And he was like, no, I'm sure that's...
No, you're
Where would I get
unsure.
that from? And I was thinking, every American show you've ever watched with a black woman in it. But not me. I've never done that. So just having to... And then be like, oh, but, you know. And it's just like...
No, I don't know.
But I have to just brush it off. And then it's like, all right, calm down. I'm just saying. And it's like, whoa, how did we get to... Okay, cool. And just having to be... So very much Amy just having to be beat down and not say anything and not speak her mind.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, as you said, I know what the bigger picture is. I can get through this. It's not going to be forever. But there's just little things. And they're like little paper cuts.
This is it.
It's like, it's nothing to go to HR over really. But if you put them all together, that's like abuse at
Case.
work.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like, oh, don't play the race card. Like, it's not. I didn't mean it. That's not. I'm
Yeah.
not. Come on. I'm
You
not.
see when she put on the Karen tears, yeah?
Oh my goodness.
I was livid. I was livid. I mean, it was looking at your character like, yeah, see what you've done.
Yeah.
See what you did. I was like, are you kidding me?
So there's nothing you can do. And all Amy was doing was speaking her truth.
Yeah.
But even
And
that's
they did
not.
say that. They said, speak your truth, you know. She speaks the truth, that's too much truth. Calm down.
funny.
Yeah, not that truth. Not that bit yet. So yeah, no. It's mad.
I really
So
like
yeah,
that, yeah.
I can relate.
You know that I just love the detail. Like there's just so many. I feel like you could write an essay on this, like several essays, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that stood out to me, I feel like is a conscious effort for you to rewrite the narrative about black fathers being present, and how Demi's character was just there at every stage.
It was the best
Married
feeling.
couple,
Yeah.
caring, mentioning the whole 4 times more as well.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause we had 4 times more.
Yeah,
girls.
Chloe and Tinuke. They
Times
actually
More,
run
pardon me.
they run an organisation. It's called 5 Times More, and it still highlights all of that, like black maternity and how we are. At the moment, we're 4 times more likely, but when they started, we're 5 times more likely.
Okay.
So that was I get what you mean, like all the realness of it, the reality of it.
Yeah, no, bless. So that was that. Funny enough, again, like shout out to like Stephanie who ran our writers' room, and that's the thing where you have. That's why I don't believe in like this authorship, like one man voice, because again, when we wrote the pilot, it was just like, oh, we need like a ticking time, but like a physical representation of the time limit that Kwabena has to move out. That was it. And obviously, when we get the series and we'll have a writers' room, Stephanie was like, all right, cool. So you man have a pregnant black woman in the show, innit? What are we doing?
What
with
would you know about that? Yeah.
I was like, when I gave her the reason, she's like, so do you think that's a good enough reason to have her pregnant? I was like, all right, cool. Like,
I love that. That's the challenge. I love
all
that.
right,
Yeah.
cool. Like, let's go talk about it. But that was, I would say, that was one of the biggest challenges for us, because even with BBC and A24, when they saw it, they were like, yo, this, of all the jokes down to have, this really up on the borderline of like, how are you going to make this funny?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no, we'll add in,
Here and there.
jokes here and there, but no, we're not gonna make the whole thing funny because obviously it's a serious matter. But that was important to us because I feel like, as I say, you don't see it,
Yeah, you don't.
you know, and just the idea, the neurosis of him that we play for a comedy.
Yes.
But then we consciously did that to be like, let's play it like a comedy so everybody feel like, man's just going crazy. Innit?
Yeah.
But then the switch of when it happens,
And that's,
it's like, you see?
Because I thought she was coming to apologize to him, you know. I thought she was coming to be like, I'm sorry about that, like you can go back into the room now. Then when she said, I was thinking, yeah, that's why he was going crazy. But that's, and I like the fact that you didn't just mention the fact that black women are 4 times more likely to, have complications and pass away and stuff like that during childbirth. But you also followed it through with the reality, because that's a lot of people's reality,
Yeah.
where
So-
they're not listened to, and it's,
On Twitter, there was so many, even male friends, black male friends that I know, that were just like, that was a little bit triggering for me because I've experienced that when my son was born or when my daughter was born. So it's just like, again, people being seen, that they don't get seen on TV, their experience doesn't get seen. And a lot of people that have seen the show, and this is from the screen and the preview, they were just like, I feel seen and I feel heard.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a fantastical story, or it's not and I've always said this, like there's places for everything. There's places for your top boys, there's places for your, do you know what I mean? There's places for everything, but there's also places for just the British black experience in Britain. There's just a space for it. And a lot of people are just like, yeah, that's my life. And yeah, it was nice to represent.
Even your character, Amy, I think it was near the end, maybe the 5th episode, where he was basically deliberating between going back home, going back to Nigeria. And it's like, obviously, we've kind of gone past the whole fake narrative of Africa just being a place of just famine and all of them type of things there. But to actually push the idea that, wait a minute, I live better in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those ideas, I just feel like it's the detail that went into it.
The
Just
research
beautiful.
is amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people say that in terms of like back home, you're doing this, you're doing well. Even like career-wise, you're prospering and stuff like that. And when you come here, it's like you're not rated. Because even when you told your manager like what you did back home, he's like, oh, okay, that's nice. I've heard about Nigeria. And then it's just like you just skip past that and you give the job to someone who has no experience. But that is a reality for a lot of people who go from there, who live there, come here, you know, for education and all that kind of stuff. And then they get to the point where it's like, I'm gonna have to move back because work-wise here, it's just not, it's not cutting it.
And you're not respected.
You're not respected.
You know what, though? I do think there's another element which, in my experience here, we don't acknowledge, is that a lot of people who go back to like, you know, their countries in Africa or the Caribbean, them love it because when you go back, like, you know, I see it all the time. Every Christmas, everybody going back to Ghana and Nigeria and live up high life. And I'm like, but sometimes when I don't really acknowledge that the reason why one can do that is because actually you are an expat there. They see you as foreign, so they see you as all this bright and shiny thing. And actually, you're almost doing the same thing that happens to you here.
Yeah.
In the same way for me, like when, as much as I come here and then I look upon our equivalent of A-levels, and I was like, oh yeah, so I have like a B in math, and they're like, oh, is that like a C? What?
Can you imagine?
No,
but
I
in
said
the
it's a
same way,
B.
I go back to Jamaica, and because I've flunked architecture school, like I got like a third in architecture. When I back to Jamaica and was like, oh yeah, you know, so I did my degree in England. Them say, oh, England?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they want to hire me. I'm like, bro, I have the lowest pass possible.
Is that first hit?
but because it's from England, all of a sudden,
It means
look
more-
upon
it
me
means more
like
to
some
them, yeah.
big cheese. And it's like, yo, like, so sometimes I feel like, yo, we don't really acknowledge the privilege we have when we go back to the place
Yeah.
and come with our pounds and our UK-ness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
I gotta
That's
ask,
an important conversation.
what scenes were the funniest to film where there was like so many different takes because everyone just busting out laughing? Was there anything like that?
Me and Babilier, definitely.
Yeah.
Because we were just being ourselves
Yeah.
and we were just having fun. And that first bit when we were talking about who we look like,
Oh, yes.
the night before we'd sat with Adjani and Ali and we were like, okay, cool. So they were like, okay, cool. So what do you want this scene to say? Because you two are moaning about it. And I was like, But we got like, because we was having, because the discussion was, okay, so I don't know what the original thing was, but when I originally got the script, it was talking about Amy and babies. And I was like,
Oh, no.
at what
We
point?
weren't doing that.
At what point are we? When's Amy ever spoken about babies? Why is that? We've got this one scene here today, and we're talking about babies.
No, we're not.
And so we were like, I was like, can I just have a little? And the beautiful
idea.
thing about Adjani and Ali is that they will sit with you and they will be like, okay, cool. So what's the problem? Because they're both aware that they're not women or representing women. So what is the thing? So we were able to have that conversation and play about with it.
Yeah.
So for me and Babs, that was really fun because we were just being ourselves. And also, I've been called Mufasa. People have said, like, show side Bob. This happened. That people have said that to me.
yeah.
Like, that's an actual thing. But then again, people saying, oh, you look like Whitney Houston. And us both saying, Beyonce. Why do they say it?
Yeah, do you know what it is?
Why?
I was waiting for the Beyonce.
Beyonce
Because Beyonce, everybody gets Beyonce.
But why?
Black woman, I don't know.
It's, I
You know,
don't
Beyonce,
understand.
it's
I
like
feel
standard, isn't it?
I feel like
don't look
Beyonce's
like
the most
her.
loved black woman.
If you want to say my
universally.
work ethic is like her, you want to say like I'm a go-getter.
I would
but
accept.
I don't
love that.
Look. Yeah, exactly.
I would accept
but I
that.
don't look like her. Which part?
yeah.
What part of her generation of
like-
family
it's
or
like-
ancestry do I
Like,
look like?
every tall black guy with a beard. Oh, LeBron James.
Yo, no, but my brethren, I straight up have a brethren
Yeah.
who, when them man they go, what do you call it? It's Budapest or we check
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Oh, yes,
Like
yes, yes.
man them go in clubs
Yeah.
because my man is LeBron James. Like now them just lean into it. They'll go, yo, we have LeBron James coming in for like a serious off-season thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I straight up get into clubs
Swear.
because of that. Because man is LeBron James. You're like, it's sick, but
That's too funny.
another scene, you were in that scene as well. The pasta scene
Oh
in
my
episode 6.
God.
The way the pastor was blinged out.
Your episode 1 here. But that pasta scene,
Yeah.
When I saw him blinged out, I said, Right. What were we
But
doing?
we were begging for the director to say cut because we were like trying to hold it in. And the camera was turned on us for like the first half of the day. And we were like, oh, he's not going to be able to keep going with this because he's done so well. And then he did exactly the same performance. And he was so good.
Yeah, people were crying and that.
Yeah, literally.
At one point, I was questioning whether or not he was saying it or was recording because at one point the camera was focused on you lot so much. I was thinking maybe they got someone else to say this and they're just playing it.
That
He said
actor
it.
did. Yeah, the actor did it.
Wow.
Yo,
He did it.
Holy Spirit, innit?
You got caught by speaking in tongues.
Right.
And then the scene where you went out for dinner.
Oh my
The
gosh,
restaurant- the
yes.
restaurant
That's
scene.
one of
No,
my
because I was like,
favorite
how are
scenes.
you going to pay the bill?
That's one of my favorite
Listen,
scenes.
I was feeling for you there. I was thinking, how's he going to get out of this?
I'll be honest, yeah. I was so cringing so I was going to skip the scene. I said, I can't see this. Because I was like, I can't see this. I can't actually physically watch this happen.
Was it that true?
Oh, that stressed me out.
yeah, no, it's
No,
just,
because it was like I was so embarrassed as if it was me in there. And obviously, because I started dreaming dreams, I was like, but I've seen you reality check your bank balance. And I was
Them
like, his
ones.
card is going to decline. Like, the card
Them
is
ones.
going to decline.
When the waiter was like, it's not you, it's reception, it's not you. And then like,
Ah.
well, it might be
No,
you.
but
you know?
he was in overdraft, didn't it? So that was just,
Yeah.
that was just going to make the overdraft bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you called him, you're like, hi, I would like to report a stolen bank card.
I laughed. As soon as I saw that scene, I laughed. Man said,
That was great.
No, it was
What
so
card
good. The
was stolen?
research team were on job with that.
And the scene with the other one is with the boys, with the email.
with the email.
And just when he was like, so my mother died, I didn't get a chance to suck her. I was like, oh my God.
That is, I'll be honest, that is why I nearly skipped. Because when he called and when he sent the voice note, I was like, oh my
man.
gosh.
So what's the undertone of your character then? Is he basically a fuck up, essentially? Because he
Who,
missed
Kwame?
yeah, because he missed so many opportunities.
Like, he got bad luck.
Like, think about how many opportunities he messed up with the meeting that you set up with him. You didn't come. My man.
With Auntie Lola's birthday video.
Why did you film it for so long? I mean, for so short. You didn't film it for long.
yo,
party.
nah,
Man filmed the
you
party
see
for
we had?
man
We
filmed the
had the
party for
one
5
camera.
minutes.
nah, you know what though? It's funny because that actually based on like shout out man as well. But yeah, that was a real thing where
Yeah.
I filmed her mom's birthday party.
Yeah.
And obviously we spent the whole day I filmed this. We were there for hours, but you know
Yeah.
these things go.
Yeah.
There for hours. But obviously I'm used to like, you know, modern day wedding videos. You know where you do like, you know, you see the Instagram wedding videos.
Yeah.
You know, music, swooping shots going through crowd. Come, man, I could just cut up that. Only if it, she had cuss. And I'm like, yo. She's like, no, back in the 90s when she get married. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, so what, you expect me to just roll the camera just for like. And if I had presented that would have been blessed.
exactly.
And I was like, bro,
The 4K would have been yours, man.
No, but yeah, it was. I thought, yeah, it's a little thing. Did you know when Auntie Lola gave him the little change?
Yeah.
And then she walked in, she's like, Abi, am I going to turn 60 again?
Yeah.
You know what the matter is? I actually never knew she said that.
Really?
She says it in Yoruba.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
perfect.
because I was like, I never know what she says, but
No, when she basically said like, when am I going to get to turn 60 again? Like, when am I going to get to have another 60th
I
party?
did not know that till
part
just a while ago.
finished me. That's so perfect. They have to leave with something. They cannot just,
they can't just.
they have to make some kind of little comment.
That
was
was,
lit, man.
you know, it's so mad because even when we were subtitling,
Yeah.
BBC was like, oh yeah, you know, you guys go translate the Yoruba, and I was like, nah. It's like, oh, but you know, don't you think people will miss
Yeah.
the joke? I'm like, bruv, I've missed the joke. It's not my
Right,
joke.
that's so funny.
It's not my joke. This is Nigerian's joke.
Yeah. No, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Bless.
Like, obviously, when you wrote this and everything, you filmed it, you had a certain idea of where you wanted to go, right? Where do you want it to go?
To be honest, we feel like Dreaming As Black is a success story.
Okay.
It will be. Like,
Yeah.
it ends with him
Yes.
becoming a successful filmmaker. But also just like a cautionary tale, just questioning society. You know what I'm saying? Which is why like the episode 1 ends the way it does, because the reality of the industry is that it's not as pretty and glamorous as we know it.
Yeah.
And we all make sacrifices to various degrees to be where we want to be. So it is a success story, but it's, along the way, it's just a cautionary tale of like, to be mindful of like how success comes.
exactly.
So I think the more we progress, will be those things.
Because I was going to ask you, like, both of you, like, what's your ideas of success? Because I think you made a good point where you said white people occupy 84% of this country, yeah? black people's like what 3.5%. Like, is that really success? Even if you had all the black people supporting you, right? 3% of the country, but like surely to succeed, at least through certain people's lens, right? You kind of have to bridge that and kind of go into the, you know what I mean, the masses. Or do you not see it that way at all? Do you just see it as, you know what, as long as I'm cool and like my vision is realized, that's it?
What?
Yeah, that's for both of you as well.
Exactly, for both of us. Do you want to think about it? Is that why you're passing it on to me?
Ladies first.
Look, for me, success, as I've gotten older and as I've kept going through this industry, I have to keep asking myself, what does success look like? Because what it looked to me when I was a teenager to what it looked to me in my 20s, it's not the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
And so for me, success is being able to do what I love to do, getting paid very well from it, and being able to live the life I want to live and help those around me. Like, that's success. When I was younger, I was like, yeah, I want to get into all the clubs for free. And I still want free stuff.
I was about to say, me want free clothes,
you
right?
still want free, yeah, you still want that. But it's not just about that. Like, that doesn't, because you can have all that stuff. You know, not saying anything to influence and stuff, but influencers, you can have all the stuff, but you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So actually, that's not really helping you.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with some young people, because I used to do facilitation, and they used to say they want to be famous. So there was like, oh, is fame better than having lots of money? So like, oh, it's fame better. But then we're like, well, Ted Bundy's famous.
For real.
So, and they were like, oh. So I was like, you really need to work out what it is that you're talking about and what it encompasses. So for me, it's being able to do what I love. I was saying to someone today, like, I want to do whatever makes my heart sing. Being in love, being loved makes my heart sing, but as does being creative.
Yeah.
That's just as important to me. So if I can do that and still have my business class holidays, then, you know, and have my nice house and then be able to support my family and friends when I need them, and people that have good projects and maybe help to fund them in sort of way, that's success to me.
Yeah.
I mean, having the clout, 100%, because also then that gives you get to say something and people actually listen to you. I have noticed that when you are a certain caliber of famous, people listen to you that they wouldn't necessarily listen to someone that people don't know. So, but my whole thing is, how are you using that? And so using it in a positive way to create positive change, that's success to me. But
I love that.
that's not for everyone.
It's very wholesome. I love that. Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest, I feel like success to me, especially being where I am now, dog, is happiness, you know, and peace.
Yeah,
Them two things there, you can't buy them
at all.
You know what I'm saying? Money can facilitate them. So like if like me want to reach to the stage where if my brethren call me and say, yo dog, man, I keep a big birthday party next month. So all right, cool, say let's just book a ticket and go and not even think about it. But, or you know, for have more, make sure I have a little house so that nobody can tell me if I come out of my place. But being like last year I won a BAFTA, innit?
Congrats.
Congratulations.
I love how you use
bless.
passion.
But it's funny because again, I'd come in here and working is like, yo, I want to achieve these, you know,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of get it, and you're like, oh, me not feel like how me expect to feel with it. You know what I'm saying? And realizing that actually, yo, dog, never accident. It's like behind a plant. You know what I'm saying? So happiness and peace, and I think what brings me happiness, I understand the idea that obviously we're 3.5% in it, which is, to be honest, the issue with black music in England is that actually rappers in America can only sell to black people and still make money.
Yeah.
Whereas, like gigs, if gigs only sell to black people, well, for back in the day, them was like household names in our houses.
In our houses, yeah.
But nobody else's house.
Yeah.
But they weren't rich off just us. No. You know what I'm saying? So from a show perspective, from a professional perspective, honestly, as much as I want, like, yeah, everybody should watch it. I want my people love it. So even when we get the reviews from the press and all of them things, that it's like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. But actually, what made me feel happy is for come here and you be like, yo, like the thing's sick. You know what I'm saying? Even you tell me joking at what today, I'm just I learned right now. That for me, fulfillment is from our people.
Moving forward, are you just like focusing on getting season 2 commissioned and whatnot? Are you just, or if that don't think it's just on to the next, I'm gonna bring something new to the table?
Yo, you have to always have something new to the table, brother. In this industry, it's fickle, bro. So whether BBC, I mean, we hope they give a season 2, but I already write another comedy. And like, I already write another film. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. And not even just in case. Even if they get season 2, I still want to make those projects. Bro.
Is it easier now then? Because obviously you've done certain things, you've been in certain rooms and whatnot. So your new projects get listened to better, innit?
For sure, 100%.
Let's go BAFTA. That must,
Casually.
BAFTA award.
But then, you know, like, you know, like when it comes to, you know, the other season, because sometimes with black creative projects and stuff, people obviously support by watching and stuff like that. But is there other ways we can support? Because if you think about it, like, because I looked, when I finished watching it, I checked, you see on Netflix and Amazon, so you can thumbs up. It adds to the ratings of that. iPlayer doesn't have that. No. So how will they know we like it?
Views, the data, the IP. And funny enough, that's why we're kind of, as much as would I love everybody for watching on BBC 3 or BBC 1, the iPlayer is where them have the most data.
Okay.
Because they know, obviously, you have to log in and them have all the information. Yeah. So it's really about watching it, the numbers. Okay. Because the metrics are kind of like, oh, you know, does it do well in terms of reviews? Does it do well critically? But specifically, do people watch it? Yeah. And I feel like if the more I will watch it, especially if it's a black show, if you make a black show and the black people don't watch it, then they'll be like, boy.
Well, and that's the issue, because they'll be like, oh, well, did you see, this is why we don't really commission these.
Right.
Can't have that.
Honestly, Dreaming Whilst Black is really like a litmus test. Because obviously we've seen Top Boy is successful. Blue Story is successful, objectively. And it's like, all right, cool, we're presenting you a product that is none of those things. Can this be successful? Because if it is, then we've now demystified the idea of you need Roadman in there. Or you need, you know,
this kind of story.
It needs to be on, you know, a council block where the mum had to do crack.
Because they've got a nice house.
Shit. Like, that's what I'm saying.
It's rich. Yeah. And I think also it's daring because it's got the word black in it. I think because obviously the country we live in, they try to skirt around. Even like when your colleague was in the office trying to tell you who his girlfriend was. And he's like, no, she likes this kind of music. No, she likes spicy food. It's like we do everything. And I've seen that, I've experienced that in my real office life, where someone's like, oh, where's Esther? And they're like, oh, she's the one with the, just say the black girl. I'm the only black girl like, it's not racist to say, there she is, the black girl there. It's fine. I'm not going to go to HR. I am black. You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes with shows as well, it's about black things, but then you don't really get the word black in the title. So the fact that it's even called, you know, Dreaming Whilst Black, must be shaking in the boots.
That boy, I that was me signaling to like, yo, black people,
this is
it's for us.
Tune in.
Literally says it on the tin.
And even when we did the web series, we had a T-shirt of it. And so I'd wear it around and I'd be like, and so white people would say to me, oh, what's that about? And I'd be like, what do you think it's about? And they'd be like, no. So, and someone said to me, I'm not gonna fall for that.
I'm not for this one.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm just asking you what you think it's about. In terms of what the words are, what do you think it's about? And they're just like, no,
I'm not playing that game. No, you're not gonna get me.
I was like, all right.
Cool. Was DWE the first choice for the baby's voice?
Yo, DW, you see, shout out to Heather, I said, the casting director, because we knew it was like, oh, we have this baby. I said, oh, maybe we should get like a celebrity in there. And it was like, who would be? It was that question of who we can use. And, you know, people that bring up names, you know, I've said again, you know, depending on who's in the room, you know, they bring Stormzy.
Of course.
And I was like,
maybe not him. Then I go like Dave.
But then it's funny because when it was like, when she was like, yo, how about DWE? I was like, who else?
You got a great voice.
Who else? Like, in terms of because we wanted that voice. As soon as you hear the voice,
you just know who it is straight away.
You know who it is. And it's like, boom. Him.
Dope.
What did you guys learn about yourselves whilst filming this? I mean, yours can be in the writing process as well. And then, actually, yours can be in the consulting and writing process. But like, what's one thing you learn about yourselves?
I learned that I can be a lead.
Love that.
And it wasn't, and do you know what it is? It's not even that.
Love that.
It's not even that I learned I could.
Serious.
It's not even that I learned I could be a lead. It's almost like I showed them I could be a lead. Because I've been in this for 15 years.
Wow.
And this is my first lead in 15 years. And I've grown and I've learned and I've persevered and I've checked that I still want to do this. But I'm just like, I knew I could do it. But it's like no one, apart from obviously Adjani and Ali and those people, trusted
that you could
I could do it.
That's amazing.
And even when I got the experience to do it, I also had to ask myself, do you want to do this? Like, do you want to be a lead? Like, it's actually, maybe you just want to be a series regular that just comes in, pops in and comes out. And I was thinking, do you know what? No, when the storyline's right and the character's right, no, I
Yeah.
want to do this.
No, you killed it.
Thank
You
you.
did. Because when you said we we're gonna have you got someone actors from the show, I honestly was like, I hope it's still with you, and it is. No, you did amazing. Honestly, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to be
amazing.
fair to Dani as well, like her scenes, like Peter Serafinovich is well, it's funny because there's like black famous and white famous. Peter Serafinovich is massive in the white famous space. Like y'all may not know who he is, but like exactly the white one, her boss.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't know his name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
like-
yeah.
like I even remember when the cast list came out, Virgin from Sims, mate, you've got Peter Serafinovich, and I was like,
I was more excited about why have I forgot his name? It's so rude. Is it the one that is it your uncle or something?
Roger.
Roger.
Yeah.
When I see him, I was like, all right. Then.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's like white famous and black famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's black. He's proper.
Yeah, no, man,
definitely.
he's solid.
UK
But
British
for
black famous,
Dani, it was like Dani's playing with him. This man probably have like 40 years in the game, easy. And Lydia Rose Bewley as well. Lydia was in Between Us, so she's been doing the comedy.
That's what I saw.
So yeah, that's where you know her from.
Yes.
So for me, for Dani to see, and that was a question. It was like, cool, we have Dani playing against two comedy giants.
Yeah.
And it's like, will it feel in balance? And when you watch it, you're like,
doesn't.
You wouldn't believe that anybody more experienced than the
Yeah.
other. So shout out to Dani, got you hold her own in that. You know what I'm saying?
Even Rachel Adedeji.
Yeah.
Because I recognize from like X Factor and stuff anyway, and I was like, oh, she's played her role amazingly as well.
Oh yeah, man.
And the casting was great. The
Yeah.
casting was great.
Nice.
And the guy, ticket guy,
Oh, Lewis.
he was getting on my damn nerves.
Yeah.
He was getting on my damn. No, he never recognized
Hey,
him.
what ticket? Oh,
The one where you were
yeah,
his recruiter.
yeah.
And every time he saw you, he was giving me Tony from Girlfriends vibe.
Yeah.
She always got her friend. She's like, oh, Jabbar, all of that stuff. And I was like, mate, he was really winding me up. I knew he was going to fumble the bag. I just knew it.
Also, what type of prison was your cousin in? I didn't know there was
Oh, yeah.
FaceTimes.
So there is in juvenile.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we had to
I was
research
thinking,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, we had to research that.
But to be fair, do you remember all the
In-
scandals we had?
Some future prison, right?
During lockdown and stuff, when the guys were in prison doing Insta lives.
No, but that didn't look like he was on his
No.
phone. in
So
secret.
Okay, yeah,
It was
yeah,
on
yeah.
the- in the official room.
in
Oh, you
juvie,
did?
you can
Okay,
do
okay,
that.
okay.
In juvie, you can actually do that.
Right, educating me.
So yeah.
Even your cousin as well. Yeah, I wanted to ask you, why was it important to kind of show that you failed him, and then kind of use what happened to him as your kind of route to success? You know what I mean?
Yo, so to be honest, it's the conversations at the start of the room was very much about what do we want to say,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, cool, we like to think of ourselves as a smart comedy. It's like, what's the mess? Like, what are we trying to start a conversation about?
Yeah.
And to be honest, in the rooms I'm in amongst like my black creative peers, because obviously, you know, you hear it all the time, oh, every day Top Boy, every day hood film. And it was that question of, oh, well, can we actually exploit our own? Right? Because realistically, Top Boy is actually, Top Boy is made by a white guy. Like, it is.
I just found out that now.
Cool.
Just found out
You know
now.
what I'm saying? So,
Today
but
you
it's
know.
like, but because obviously them have Kano and Ashley and all that, it, you know, the culture rides out
Yeah.
and they authenticate it,
Yeah.
right? But even in the same way, Spielberg made The Color Purple. And it's like, when white people make black stuff,
I just start Googling people writing
so I'm
things.
saying, but it's like, but you know, we'll complain in the workings. We complain. It's like, oh, these white people make black people things. You know, you'll hear that. Oh, they might exploit black trauma. I said, but do we exploit black trauma?
That's the thing.
Like, do we use each other for professional gain? And that was a question we were like, yo, let's talk about that, because actually, you can't just make whatever you want and say it's for the culture. Is it? Is it if a youth getting revenge on another youth and stabbing him up, but you portray it in a way that's exciting, not as raw like a black youth died, but you're like, yeah, get in blood. Is that for us? Because that's death. You understand what I'm saying? So we wanted to really have that conversation of like, are we exploiting our own? So that's why we kind of did that, but try to weave it in a way where it's not, because it's never intentional.
Yeah.
Black filmmakers don't get up and say, you know what, yeah, I'm just going to show man nanking each other. Just going to make money. They do it of, you know, because, and again, everyone will tell you, they hire black actors. They hire black cast, they hire black crew. So, you know, this is for us because we give black people money. And it's like, but let's talk about the macro issue. At what expense does it do that when you glorify certain things? So we just wanted to have that conversation and be like, yo, like, we're not really blaming nobody, but let's talk about
Do you know what? Question about that storyline though, because it wasn't clear to me. So did his mum know that this is what your movie was about? Because you know, in the end they say, you know, she left.
Yeah.
Because I was scared about her like finding out because I thought this must be so heartbreaking.
I love how invested you were.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't watch this scene and skip.
From when I wanted to like skip, I'm like, I can't see the embarrassment. But yeah, so like I wondered, like, did she know that this was about her son? Because I know you mentioned at the start that you were going to use his tracks and stuff. But yeah, that wasn't clear. And obviously when the uncle then gave you the speech about you've used this when you didn't show up for him, I just wasn't clear about that.
Yeah, no. So the idea is that everybody knows that he's making Jamaica Road, and that's what he wanted to make this whole time.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the room,
The place
he got told, he was like, "Yo, like if you want to actually make something, this is the thing." So he kind of just made it on his own whim, but believing he's doing, you know, he's doing the right thing. But yeah, no, they'll never know until them watch it.
All that pissed me off though.
It did.
Yeah, listening to his uncle and I was like, you're soft, man. Like, you got what you wanted. Like, you're successful. Be happy. When you're taking the pictures, you're still moaning and sad. I'm saying, what are you sad for? Ain't this what you wanted? Because you're moving like you're going to stop making... Are you going to stop making films? If you're not going to stop making films, shut up, man.
You know what it is? And that's because I didn't see him have one sleepless night about this decision. You think about you have to do this. It's like, okay, next thing, he's switching cards. He's like, all right, so this is the story. I said, oh, really now?
But bringing that to the fore. Like.
No, I was just going to say, I answered the question about what I learned. You didn't answer the question about what you learned.
Thank you very much.
Progressing the story. Awesome. What we learn?
Yeah, in the process.
It could be about yourself.
So much.
About the industry, anything.
I mean, I feel like, boy, I've learned how much I can endure, actually. Like, the stamina needed, because at some point, like, so one of the actors got COVID.
Oh, really?
And we had to write them out at episode 6.
Oh wow.
That's how the whole, Ovi being in the
Okay, I clocked OV. I said, look at my king. And he had an American accent. I said, is there anything you can't do, OV? Big up OV. Yes.
So, but that meant we were filming 12-hour days, but I'd go back to the hotel, then Ali and I would sit down and rewrite the scenes for the next day.
Wow.
Because Vanessa was supposed to be in the cinema.
Okay.
That whole Got to America thing never...
Was it?
Oh, really?
COVID, then we get COVID, and...
So she had COVID?
Yeah, and then it was like, we're not going to write them out. We're just going to keep shooting, so just change the script. I was like, what? So it was literally film 12 hours, go back to the hotel, write till about midnight or like 1, email it off to like the production, email it to the director, and then wake up again at like 5 for we did that for like a week straight. So even by I was tired, bro.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
So
But yeah, as soon as them say, all right, cool, we're going for a take, you have to be like,
It's still alert, we're awake.
ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it took a lot.
And Adjani was like, he wasn't like a one-man band, but he kind of was, because obviously he was a one-man band that also had a kind of like percussion people helping him.
Yeah.
But he was the exec producer, he was the writer, he was the actor and the lead actor. He also had, obviously he's the director as well, so he still had his director hat on, and it was so difficult. You'd sit there and Adjani's just like, so which hat am I having? Like he's got to prep for a scene, and then someone knocks on his train, he's like, oh, Adjani, we've got a production meeting. You just come in. And he's like, yep, just got to do lines that we just wrote last night, but yep, production meeting.
Yeah, sure.
And he's just doing this. And then he's sitting there in the makeup trailer, just like, am I looking at the lines? Am I looking at the schedule for tomorrow? And I'm just like, look at this man.
Yeah.
And not complaining.
No, you deserve your flowers,
And not,
man. That's
like,
amazing.
no, 100%. Like, we were just like, whatever you need. And he was like, you know, I'm here, innit? I'm just like, no, but what do you need? We can see you're here, but where are you here? Because you're everywhere. And nobody sees that. Nobody knows that. And I've said it, and I'm going to keep saying it.
Love that.
It had to be Adjani to do this project.
Yeah.
It was never going to be anyone else.
Yeah.
I've done Brothers Within a Game. There's been loads of other web series that should have blown and didn't.
Yeah.
But it was Adjani that he had to be the one to do it, because he was the one, the driving force. He knew it. He understood it. He'd been through it. He'd studied it. And he was like, I know it. He was able to have those conversations in those rooms with those difficult people that were telling him, no, we know what it is. And he was like, no, I know what this show is.
Yeah.
And he persevered. And like, I'm just so proud of him. Like,
Oh, I love that. This is so wholesome.
Beautiful.
I love that. All right. Okay, so audience, before we wrap up though, who is one person that you would like to work with? I guess that works for both of you. I guess for you could be someone I want to have on a project, and yeah, same for you. To be fair.
I mean, there's so many people that I want to work with, to be honest. But I definitely want to work with Viola Davis for sure.
Oh, I love her. Absolutely love her. Yeah. She's amazing.
I don't want to say one person, but I would love to work on a project. You see, all the British actors who are in America doing them thing. So like Damson Idris, Daniel Kaluuya, Deborah Irinde, Jessica Lange. There are a couple of them. Would I love to work on a project where all of them
Oh, that'd be
in a
sick.
one team? Imagine
Are
John
they English or
Boyega
American?
being British.
Okay.
But imagine John Boyega, Damson Idris, Daniel Kaluuya,
All in one film,
and
yeah.
all of them in a one movie.
Star-studded. That's sick.
That would be that. I'd love to do that.
That's sick.
That can happen, you know.
Of course it can. It
I
will.
see that happening.
It will happen. Amen.
The script, man.
Yeah, but we have a question we ask all our lovely guests. And do you want to tell them the question, please?
Tell us one thing about you that nobody else knows in the world. It don't have to be. It could be like a
deep.
guilty pleasure.
No, I know, but I'm
hobby or something.
thinking
A hobby.
I just talk a lot. Everyone knows most things about me, to be honest. So there's not anything that nobody
I'll
don't
be
know.
sharing.
Yeah, literally. When people are like, you can stop now, we're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know, something simple. Me used to really like Downton Abbey, you know. I fuck with that white shit, bro. It was vibes. But whenever when people are like, oh, what are you watching at the moment? We just don't worry about that.
And also, just a piece of life advice you can give to someone, like a listener, something
And this
poignant
is
that
your
can
bag.
help them.
Right, this will be your bag.
Well, I feel like I kind of already said it.
You to be fair,
I feel like
Yeah,
I kind of
kind
said
That's true.
about life and what.
Yeah, just keep trying. You have to. Like I saw a quote my cousin sent to me. It was, imagine coming this far just to come this far.
Ooh, that's piercing.
I said, ugh.
That's deep.
Yeah, I said.
That's deep.
So you have to, if you commit to the thing, commit to the thing.
Big
I'm gonna
facts.
put that on my wall.
I respect that one, man.
But thank you so much. We really enjoyed the show.
Thank
We're looking
you.
forward to season 2 because it's gonna
Love.
happen.
Yes.
And
Yes.
any other shows you have as well. That comes
Yo,
out, both of you.
bless, and I just on my camera. Yo, if you haven't seen it yet, BBC iPlayer, check it out. Are the best thing on internet right now.
Period. That's a fact.
Facts.
It's good. No, it's good, man. It's really good. It's really good.
You don't know. I don't. You don't know. You don't know. I
picky
don't
one,
care
that
about none. I'm telling you, like, it's good. It's probably good. When it finished, I was pissed. There was only 6 episodes.
Oh,
You get me?
Yeah, it's
I was like, I could keep watching this. Like, I could just. This could just keep. This could be a thing. It could
Yeah,
just keep
that's
running.
it.
You get me?
Yes, man.
We're proud of you too. Well done.
funny,
Thank you so much.
funny, light-hearted, but with serious undertones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I liked it, man. I enjoyed it.
Sick. Thank you so much for joining
You are
us.
always welcome, man.
Yes, you're very
Thank
always
you.
welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry, season 2 will come and chop it up again.
Yes, exactly. When you got cinema, we're gonna be at the premiere and all that.
No,
Yes.
for sure.
Thank you very much. All right, should we get into the reaction?
Let's do it.
Sports.
Yeah. If your cars were not, can you hear me?
Your car.
I was gonna say if their cars were not, outside waiting for them, I would have said.
Oh, what is it?
Take
Take a picture quickly.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. BRB. react.
So, in our sports headlines, again, the women have been going brazy in the World Cup, turning up. So, just some of the results. Is it Thursday already? They got a result early hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, on Wednesday, the Japanese women beat Costa Rica 2-0, and the Spanish women thumped Zambia 5-0. And Canada women beat Republic of Ireland 2-1. But remember, they got a brother on their team, so that's...
No, that's not true actually.
We did some more investigations, you know.
So she's a woman, but her pronouns are
They, them.
they them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's
But she's actually
non-binary.
biological.
Yeah, she's
woman.
non-binary.
Piers Morgan spreading fake news, man. He's got to stop doing that. Why is he beefing? Why is he beefing like
But
that
he's
for
beefing
them?
everybody
Huh?
there. They, him, he, she, her, they, them. He's beefing everybody.
And that's not exactly what he said, because that's where I got my information from.
But anyway, sorry for spreading fake news, man.
Yeah.
You got to blame Piers Morgan.
It wasn't Piers Morgan.
It was, for what I saw him chatting shit, it was Piers Morgan. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Piers Morgan was the same person I got it from.
What, the correct news?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I got the wrong news from Piers Morgan.
On Twitter.
Yes.
That's probably where he had to now course correct, and he's like, all right, cool. Let me bring them on as not them, but the 3 people who were talking on the issue.
Yeah.
And that's when it is that he was like, all right, cool.
Okay, yes, that's after the fact. I haven't seen it. I just see what he started. Just what's
Okay.
dangerous.
I'll
You know
send you
what
the
I'm saying?
video.
All right, then. I'll
I'm
watch
not
it.
watching today.
I'm going to watch that shit. And yeah, the USA women drew 1-1 with Holland. It says Mbappe is not interested in meeting Al Hilal after the 257 million world record bid. So Kylian Mbappe is not interested in meeting representatives from Al Hilal to discuss a move to Saudi Arabia. PSG have given Al Hilal permission to speak to Mbappe after the Saudi club made a world record 300 million euros offer for the player on Saturday. Representatives of Al Hilal have been in Paris this week, but there has been no meeting between Mbappe's camps. PSG insider believe Mbappe is refusing to speak to Al Hilal because he has already agreed to move to Real Madrid as a free agent next summer when his contract expires. Is he looking at variety as well?
Speaking of Real Madrid, they beat you lot yesterday 2-0.
Yeah, man. I only watched the first half.
Yeah.
But it was. I was ready to go to bed, man. It was sad, man. Kobe Mainoo got taken off the pitch in like 2 minutes, man.
That was it.
It was like the only reason why I wanted to watch it, like, and he came
Got hurt?
literally 2 minutes. Just
Yeah.
a tackle, like, he got dropped, like they fell, and I think his ankle might have got trapped or
Oh,
something
was
like
it?
that. And he's got taken off, man. Like, I was just hurt, down bad, and then Bellingham
Scored
chipped
his first
on.
goal, yeah.
Best when we had 10 men on. Like, but they played. I only watched the first half.
Yeah.
They played.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know. I'm just.
They
gonna put it
played all right stuff. It could have been worse. Vinny was trying to cook.
up. That was it.
Yeah, Vinny was trying to cook a little bit, but them man are all rusty. That's Rashford's first start.
Yeah.
Casemiro's first start. Even is it Bruno's maybe? Oh
Yeah.
no. So
And
yeah,
then-
we're not going to take too much from that. But there's a lot to unpack there though. We looked all right. Style of change
Yeah.
is different, man. Onana's that's going to be a problem for you, lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the parallel fixture, Arsenal beat Barcelona 5-3.
Speak about it. I ain't seen on that.
Yeah. I didn't watch the game. I saw the goals though. Vieira scored a banger, screamer, rocket. Trossard scored 2 good goals. Saka missed a penalty. Saka scored as well. Was missing a penalty, and Havertz converted as well.
Was it full strength Barcelona team?
I didn't see his lineup, but from what I saw, Lewandowski was playing, Fati was playing, Torres was playing, Torres scored. I think so. Brent, did you watch the
Yeah,
game?
Rafinha, yeah.
Yeah, everyone
it's
played.
full
Yeah.
strength.
Even, who was it? Yabi was like, oh yeah, like you guys were playing aggressive, like saying Champions League kind of thing. Like, he took on Arteta after the game, saying that you guys took the game seriously. But yeah, I'm happy the most that I guess our fringe players look like they can actually have a big impact this season if they all play well. The Vieiras, the Trossards, the Smith Rowes, and them, man. So if them lot can perform well, I reckon Arsenal are in good stead, man.
Right.
Yeah.
In other news, Henderson finally posts goodbye on Instagram ahead of his Ettifaq move.
He's already training with them.
Yeah, he's over there.
Yeah, he's
doing
over
his
there.
thing. So he's posted a goodbye message to the Liverpool supporters on social media, and it's all confirmed. It's all done. It's definitely controversial transfer, but yeah, he's going to be getting like 200 grand a week, triple his salary. Yeah, man. more power to him, man. He said, it's hard to put these last 12 years into words, and it's been even harder to say goodbye. I will always be a Red until the day I die. Thank you for everything. You'll never walk alone. There you go.
Quiet as kept, yeah. Did Ronaldo set pace?
Of course.
I don't think it's been spoken about, though.
Yes.
It hasn't been spoken. I haven't seen it.
No, it definitely has. Everyone knows. It's
Okay,
like
because he kind of really, really set pace for this Saudi's takeover.
he said it himself. He's come out and said,
Oh, has
that.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
He's taking credit. He's taking credit for all this.
No, I've heard him say that Saudi League is better than MLS, but I didn't hear him take credit for this.
No, he's saying you're not chatting shit when I come. Look now, everybody's here. It's
Because
Cristiano's
literally,
show.
he went over there, what, 6 months ago, something like that?
Whenever it was him and then Benzema.
And it was when he went, was he literally the only well-known player over there?
Yeah.
Like literally the only person that was well-known.
He's the first man. He started,
now, look at it
he
now.
started the revolution.
That's insane, bruv.
It's Cristiano.
When you
man.
really think about it.
He's big business, man. The best
Because
thing.
him being over there, it was kind of frowned upon. Now it's like, all right, he's over there, and everyone else is over there with him. So it's like it's kind of legitimized his decision.
The 170 million pound they gave him for the year legitimized it.
No, I'm talking about from a football standpoint, money-wise, of course, isn't it? But I'm saying he was in a league by himself before, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Ronaldo playing with whoever. Now it's Ronaldo playing with his former teammates.
Yeah, they're not finished.
Yeah,
Are they all like different clubs or the same?
different clubs.
All different clubs.
Yeah, different clubs.
But remember, the Saudis own like 4 of the teams, isn't it?
Okay.
So there's 4 of them got funding. They're gonna go ham.
It's a place, man.
And that's the end of our sports headlines.
All right. Was there someone on the phone?
They hung up.
Okay.
All right, let's get into Out Ere then, I guess. Today's recipient of Out Ere is going to be, to keep it in keeping of Dreaming Whilst Black, we're going to use one of the characters from the show.
Okay.
Yeah, to highlight it. It would have been fun if they was still here. I thought they was. I thought they would have stayed. You get me? We could have got more into it. You get me? But I would have wanted candidates from you, so.
He went over time, you know.
Huh?
He went over time for us.
They went overtime.
Yeah.
Oh no, big up them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big
Good
up,
ones, man.
big up them, man. The real ones. Candidate, you got a candidate?
Who did I mention before?
Boss. Amy's boss.
Yeah, Amy's boss, man. He's definitely a candidate for Out Ere, man. Like he was doing too much. He was basically just doing a whole lot of crap. Like the whole obviously the whole what's the thing called?
See the video that they
The
dropped?
PR, exactly.
With the balance thing we're talking
Yes.
about. Oh
He
yeah.
said, yeah, but.
It says, yeah, like, oh, didn't you enslave all the Indians? She's like, yes, but we also made 15,000 kilometers of railways. And I was like, this is disgusting, man.
Crazy.
Like,
Yikes,
yeah,
that's
you know,
bad.
it is. And I kind of hear where they were coming from to an extent, yeah, but it's like, I don't even know if there's, I don't know if there's a way to tackle that point. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah.
Like, because like, 2 things can be true. Positives can come out of negative situations and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you handled that thing, because they was talking about, oh yeah, but we brought to them democracy. And it's like,
Yeah,
no, just come and force your Western
Exactly.
ways on people. Like, they was fine. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? But yeah, that was funny. What about you? You got a candidate for that?
I was gonna give it to Kwabena, man, actually, for jumping the gun and being overzealous and emailing my man, telling him to suck his mum, and his mum died.
I could have. I really didn't like the way he was moving at the end, pretending like he was all sad. Because like, are you gonna quit making movies? Like, shut up. Like, you know, like, you got everything you wanted now, and now you want to pretend to be sad because your uncle's chatting shit to you. Like, allow me, man. Like, don't be a soft. You're moving soft. I don't like that. Like, I proper don't like all that stuff like that. Just stand in it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Did you say you
Own
wanted
it.
to say that? Because you did say that.
Oh.
You did.
That is it.
That's how strong, because you feel strongly about it. You definitely said
It pissed me off because I was like, stop moaning, man. Like, I'd be happy. The whole journey that we were going for was for you to
Was for you to get this.
For you to get this.
Yeah.
You didn't get it the way you wanted to, but that's life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna give it to, you know, when they went to lunch, the third friend, no, the second friend.
Oh, yes.
I'll give it to her, man.
She was too much, man.
Piping up, man. She ain't gonna have to pipe up, man. Relax.
Like,
Yeah.
calm down, get your own, man.
What about you, Esther?
Mine will be to the Karen, man. Every lifetime I come in, every single lifetime, I'm always going to give donate to Karens. Like the Met Police for me.
When she started crying in the room.
And it's just annoying.
The brother who he met at the recruitment, who he keeps bucking back, who can't remember his name, like what he done to the agent.
That pissed me
That
off.
was
What he done to the
bad.
agent.
When he said, yeah, but you've seen the names. Of course you're going to say that now. I was like, he's sick.
White on white crime, though. I liked it.
No, I'm saying, why are you moving like this? Like, and it's not even like you're so absent-minded. It's not even like you even care enough. Like, you're such an
No, but
idiot.
you know
Like, you
what's
should have just
mad
let
there?
anybody who wanted to go in anyway.
It
Because
was
you're
when
just
he
a
lied.
fool.
You know when Cabin was that to him, did anyone come? He's like,
No.
no, they didn't. And he just walked off. I said,
Can you imagine?
mug.
He's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, should I give you the name? Should I write the names down? He's like, no, man.
I remember it.
And I'm saying, you can't even remember his name. Like, you're not going to remember the names. He's like, what's the names then? He's like,
All right.
And I knew even writing them down on paper, this
Even
is not
that
gonna.
wasn't doing it.
This ain't gonna do
That guy
nothing
didn't
for you.
care.
But to be fair to him, when he thought he was a drug dealer, he did look like a drug dealer.
That was funny.
Yeah, he did actually.
I was actually going to ask him a question about that. Like, but that would have just taken it to some next place. But how they put, the conspiracy about the whole soy milk and the estrogen?
Oh yeah. So they're trying to make all the black men gay.
Can you imagine?
Nah.
I was like, yeah.
How they put
Do you know
that
what?
in?
Because you know what it is, yeah? It was perfect the way
they
they did it as well, because
missed that joke.
that's really what you see in the WhatsApp aunties.
Yes.
That's what they send around. She's like, they're trying to make our men gay. I said, oh my gosh. Stop it.
I think I missed that joke.
In the hospital, man.
In the hospital.
And when it was like, visiting time's over, and everything.
That was lit. That was lit.
The cow, I saw the cow's milk thing. The whole,
Yeah,
you
so
bring the
basically-
cow's milk.
Yeah,
That's the whole
why.
point. That's what it's
Yeah,
about.
that's why.
Because he was drinking the soy milk, innit?
Oh, that's what it was.
Because remember, she made them vegan. So he was like, oh, did you bring the cow's milk? And I was like, yeah, I brought it. But yeah, with that scene where they said, oh, visit's over, and they all just stared at her, and she just walked off.
She's like, excuse me. She's like, excuse you.
No, I loved it, man. I love when like Nigerian culture is depicted perfectly.
Right, so I think we should give it to. I'm not gonna lie, that guy, the recruitment guy,
Yeah.
because it was just a running, running theme.
Because you know that had the agent not been there still, because remember he took the other agent to the wrong room, so the guy ended up leaving.
Yeah.
The woman
Took her to the wrong room.
place. Thankfully she came back in time to watch the film. So yeah, he definitely got to get it.
And to be fair,
landslide.
that's a good recruitment agency though, because he had bare different jobs.
Can you imagine? Yeah, for real.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true.
This guy's incompetent. He kept
Like
getting
that.
work.
Yeah. No, going through his CV was funny as well. When I go through his CV, and it was like something about, what was it? Something to do with like animals, and it's like something about
Eating dogs.
eating dogs, and he's like, nah, you might want to put a comma in that. I was like, that's good. It was a good show. I'd really like the show, man.
Yeah.
That's a good show. Big up then.
Good vibes, man. Big up them.
Do you remember his name by any chance?
Who?
The white guy.
Oh,
Lewis, no? Was it Lewis?
Let me get
Yeah, I
it.
think it's Lewis.
It was
Yeah,
Lewis.
I think
Is it Lewis?
Yeah, it was Lewis.
Give it to Lewis there. Lewis has done it here today, man. He's sick. I don't know how he's nicking a living. I don't know how he's getting work, but
He's getting them.
but he's getting them though.
Get that
And again,
money.
man, check out Dreaming Whilst Black. It's on BBC iPlayer right now.
Yeah.
It's like 6 episodes. They're short, only like 25 minutes or something like that. It's
Yeah,
a proper
for real.
easy watch.
Very quick.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
You can put it on lunch break if you want. Just
That's what I told him yesterday.
Yeah, for real.
So when you're working from home, put it on. But it's a good show. Let's support black people, man. We can't talk about not getting opportunities, and then when people get opportunities, we don't push. We don't
100%,
support them.
yeah.
We have to. And
Exactly.
like you were saying, this is actually what happens in those rooms.
Yeah.
If it doesn't do well, it justifies
Yeah.
why black people don't get this opportunity in the first place.
Exactly.
We can't have that, man.
And like you guys pretty much said, yeah, this is not one of those watch because you're black. Like
No,
this
no.
is genuinely
It's
a very
good
good,
vibes.
Yeah,
show,
stop.
man. You know what I'm saying? So please, guys, support the team.
Yeah.
We need a season 2. You know what
We
I'm
do.
saying?
Oh, we're gonna get
need a
season
season 2. Yeah, man.
We're gonna get season. I just know what he's gonna do with all that wealth now. All that success. How's it gonna blow it up? What's it gonna do?
Yeah, for real. The casting was just sick, you know.
It was perfect.
Everyone was just
Everyone's perfect.
nah.
Everyone's perfect. I
I
wish I
could
could
watch
watch the
it
web
again.
series. Oh, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, it's on my watch
for real.
list. Because it's so easy as well. It's on my watch list for sure. But big up them, and that's a
Yeah,
sick
big 'em up,
journey.
man.
Like even that being her
man
first
wanted to.
role after 15
Yeah, no,
years.
there was good jokes in there, you know.
Yeah, that's very good
When he's
jokes.
like, oh yeah, what film should I watch? He's like, I was thinking Colour Purple, and he's like, what? That's about
Because
right.
doing it 12 years a slave. It's like, no, you might not want to do that one.
Imagine rape and slavery in that one.
Yeah, and then but when he said, oh yeah, we watched Shaft, I was like, fair play.
Yeah, man. Good
It's,
show.
it's funny that at the end we found out he was dating her. Innit?
Yeah!
Dating Amy, yeah.
That's super nice. I actually like spicy food. Bro, she's black. Just say it.
She's always changing her hair.
She's always in the hair and stuff. It's like spicy food. He's like, don't you get it? It's like, no. No, good show, man. Good show. Definitely check it out. Drop this interview as well in your group chats. Do all that great stuff.
All right, cool. Let's get into our outro, man.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you, lovely people, for tuning in. Please like the video before you come out of it. Drop in your timelines, share it, do all that great stuff. Big up our guests as well, Adjani Salmon and Dani Moseley, who are in Dreaming Whilst Black. We've said it so many times. Definitely watch the show. It's a good show. Follow us on our social media platforms, The Day After TNB on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, if you want to send your dilemmas in, it's sis, what would you do tomorrow? Our number is 07564841073. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Have a great Thursday. See you tomorrow.
Peace out.